Saturday, and Nebraska's a part of it. They're a part of it. Michigan's in town. They're number 2. I see quite a few Michigan people around. Saw them downtown last night. It's a strange day. It's like 90 degrees.
It's September 30th. It should be 65 degrees, maybe 70 degrees. Mm-hmm. Should have a bowl of soup before the day because it's late. It's fall. This feels weird. I love playing fall golf in this weather. It's going to be 93 degrees today. Same thing tomorrow.
And windy.
93 and
right. windy.
This is not right. It should be colder than this.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll affect the passing game. It will affect the passing game. The wind's blowing like that. It'll obviously affect the kicking game.
Oh, so God, yeah.
When those guys go out there, Jake, you know how Bill Bush talks about us. Those special teams coaches, they'll go out there today. They'll go out there today in pregame and wonder, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Because you know how that in that stadium, the wind swirls.
It does.
Yeah. I'd say it's an advantage for Nebraska in that those guys are around it and they understand it. If you're coming in from another place, it'd be weird down there. If you just go on the field like I do before the game, you do kind of notice sometimes it's kind of hard to know where the wind's coming from because it changes.
Yep, that's swirling winds for you. It's crazy down there.
Swirling winds, Jake. Swirling winds.
So we'll see. Nebraska has had some problems again. Go figure. Kicking the football for field goals. Tristan Alvano, again, young, true freshman.
Young guy, man.
Had a rough miss before halftime against Louisiana Tech that led to a 7-7 tie. Nebraska did win still, 28-14. But yes, if this game is somewhat close in the fourth quarter, I imagine there's people biting their fingernails and having trepidation about, oh, God, here we go again with the field goal. And you know what? I don't blame them if they have that trepidation.
No, you'll be biting your finger. You bite them anyway.
Mine's already gone. I'll be biting my fingers. At least just bloody corpses over here.
At least you don't bite them on the air like I do, which that's something that's got to change.
I met your brothers before the show, Marty and Adam.
Marty and Adam both here.
They told me sometimes they're not sure that you're on camera during the show.
That scares me that they watch. I didn't know they watch.
Marty says he watches the show. He told me that. So
is that right?
That's how he listens to us. He watches. I asked him also how Mike Norvell was doing. He said, "Oh, he's doing great." Yeah. Neighbor Mike down the street in Tallahassee.
He lives right across. He lives right around the corner.
That's incredible.
He lives right around the corner.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Norvell's doing pretty well. They're off Florida State, Jake. Florida State's off this week, though, I believe. They're off.
Well, they deserve it. Had a good start. They had a tough game against, 2 straight tough games. They beat Clemson in overtime on the road. And before that, they had a very strange game against Boston College that they won. But a win's a win. They're undefeated. They're looking good for the playoff early on.
Pretty good. There's 8 or 9 or 10 teams in that discussion right now, which you love. I know you love that.
I do. I love not knowing how it's going to end.
Right.
I don't need 4 teams to just blow everybody out and be definitively the best.
You like the unpredictability. Now I'm going to do a master segue here. You like the unpredictability of this college football season. You probably are hoping for unpredictability today, but this game feels a little predictable.
Well, Michigan's a 17-point favorite. Now, let's look at we've mentioned throughout the week that this season, they have not been impressive really at all in the first half. They played East Carolina, they played UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers. Not exactly Murderer's Row. Mm-hmm. And all 4 games have been in doubt at halftime.
Yeah.
Not a 20-point lead or, 14, like 3 to 7 points have led these games at halftime. Mm-hmm. It was 7 points. It was 14-7 against Rutgers last week. This is their first road game of the season. They've not, and it should be pretty loud today at Memorial Stadium. Nebraska's coming off 2 straight wins against lesser foes, but they're trying to prove that they're building something here, and they can prove that still in a loss if they lose today.
Yeah,
but this is the first road test truly for the Wolverines this year.
Yeah, and you wonder, Jake, if Harbaugh will crack on them pretty hard and say, "Okay, now it's time, guys." Now I don't know, other people, coaches listening will go, you don't really do it that way. I think you can do it that way to a certain extent. Say, guys, we haven't really played very good football. We haven't played our best football. We better start ramping it up now. This could be the day you hope, if you're a Michigan or if you're a Nebraska fan, that's not the case, but it could be the day you see Michigan start to assert itself.
I hope not.
No, I know. The other side of that, though, is I don't know if they can. I don't know if they got the offensive line this year that they've had. They certainly don't have the center. They're not playing as well up front. They're 49th nationally in rushing, 60th in total offense. It's just could be they just don't have the same pop, Jake. And that's what you're going to see right away.
Which is weird because, I mean, they still have their stars like Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, and they have J.J. McCarthy. Those guys can go off any second for a big play. They just haven't done it a lot. Now, they've had some big plays. They really have. Again, second half, though. They pulled away in the second half. So if you're Matt Rule, you've done your film of Michigan. You've looked at the film saying, okay, why is it so different for the first half to the second half for the Wolverines? Well, they are obviously good at halftime adjustments. They assert their dominance in the second half and say, we are better. Let's prove it right now. And they do. But how do you overcome that? And how do you not fall to the same thing that's happened to the other four teams in the second half specifically?
It's sort of the beauty of the way Michigan plays and the way Nebraska wants to play. The beauty of the way Michigan plays is all designed to be strong in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter. It's their whole MO. It defines their program. They want to lean on you hard. They want to pound it on you. And those, it may not look that good early in the game, and they don't necessarily care that much because they know, hey, Jake, here's the deal. All these players, they hold up 4 going into the fourth quarter. And it's meaningful, but it means more to some teams than others, and it's ingrained in Michigan. When Michigan players hold up 4, it means a lot because they have proven time and again that they're that team in the last 3 years.
Well, how about 2 years ago? Nebraska has the epic, a tough loss, 32-29. Nebraska had the best, I still say it, the best third quarter of the entire Frost era.
Okay, yeah,
maybe the best quarter.
Yeah,
because of the opponent. Because
probably the best quarter.
The best quarter of the Frost era, 22 points in that third quarter against Michigan. They had brilliant play calls to Ramir Johnson. Yeah. Adrian it was an amazing quarter.
To Austin Allen.
And the stadium is jacked up. My buddy Seth this year, I punched him in the arm 45 times. He had a bruise. I was so pumped up. He's my punching bag in these games. He'll be in again today.
Seth is here.
You talk. You know Seth. You've talked with Seth.
Yeah.
The punching bag. He knows the role. I punch him when I get excited during the game. So he knows his role. Anyways, he had a welt in his arm because I punched him. I was excited so many times in the third quarter. And then the stadium's jacked up. They had the fire. They had the thunderstruck going on. They had the fire going. And Michigan's all like, yes, come on. They're on the field, not intimidated. They say, yeah, let's dance to it.
Yeah.
You know what? They had a good fourth quarter, didn't they?
They did. And they made the play. They made the play when they took the ball out of Adrian Martinez's hand. And listen, why is it going to be extremely difficult for Nebraska to win? Because if they win, it'll probably be close. And if they win, they're going to have to overcome this team, this program that's in the 8th or 9th year of Harbaugh that expects to win late. If it's close late, Jake, I mean, let's just be real. Who has the edge?
Michigan.
Because they have the mentality. They also have the belief, and they also have the quarterback.
They have all that.
Right. So to wrestle this game away from Michigan is going to be exceedingly difficult. But if they do, now I'm going to go back a little bit on what I said this week. I thought about it. If Nebraska would happen to win, think about how much the tenor of this season would change on a dime because the schedule the rest of the way is as easy as it will be for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives.
Think about that for 1 second. That's a scary thought. It's true, though.
It's true, yeah.
The Big Ten, as if you didn't know, is adding USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington next year. It's going to get tough.
Jake, the schedule will never be as manageable as it is right now again. So if you get this win, if you're Nebraska, whoa. I mean, now things change dramatically.
I think the conversation goes from not just, hey, we could win the Big Ten, we expect to win it, right? Which might
expect the West.
To win the West.
I don't want to say the Big Ten, but the West. The West.
Honestly, seriously, we've talked about at length how disappointingly bad the West is. There's nobody scary. Wisconsin, a nice win last week. They're not scary. They blew out Purdue. Purdue's not a good team. Purdue's average. Wisconsin is probably pretty average. Iowa is still, they got beat 31-0 by Penn State last week. They're not scared. They're average. The whole West is average at best. And that's being kind to some of those teams.
And that's
so if you win, yes, the conversation should switch to we need to win the West. The last year, let's do it while we've never done it before. Let's do it.
If you can do this, if you can get this win, Yes, the conversation does go that way. Now, some people are out there going, now, wait a second. The schedule's going to be the same whether Nebraska there goes Seth, whether Nebraska wins this game or not.
It's left me.
Now, but what I would say, and what you would say, Sipple, come on now. Because I go back and forth on this a little bit. This is the type of game that you would generate momentum if you beat Michigan. It would be serious. It'd be serious.
Well, breaking news. Breaking news. Nebraska would generate momentum if they beat number 2 ranked Michigan this week.
Well, I like to say that a loss doesn't have to set you way back.
It doesn't.
But a win does. And it would, I do believe it would increase your chances to win at Illinois if you win this game, because you would have some serious energy, mojo, belief where, come on, this program, Nebraska, has not gotten over the hump in these games. Now, if they did, I wonder what that would create.
We talked this week during Bill's segment on early break of FSP's field storming possibilities. Now, one did happen last night. Utah lost at Oregon State. Oregon State looked great in the game. Utah did not look very good. Imagine if that happened here today.
Field storm.
17-point underdogs. It'd be a huge upset. We haven't seen a field storming here since I've been alive. It feels like.
Right. I think 91. I think
that's the year I was born. Just so you know. So I'm correct in that statement. They have not stormed the field since 1991.
I think it would happen today.
I would expect it. I would encourage it. I would think Nebraska.
You'll be part of it.
I will be on. Look for me. Here's a heads up. If Nebraska wins today, please look on the field. I'll be the guy. I'll probably whipping his shirt around. Let's go. This shirt right here will be off. It'll be whipping around.
I just saw some skin. I don't want that. Now,
is that Jake down there?
Here's the deal.
Us?
I have talked to people all over the age of 32 who would storm the field. All over the age of 32. And so the kids are definitely going to storm.
I'd help them down. If they need help, come on, jump down. Let's do this. Let's make this teamwork here.
Would you go for the goalpost?
Yes. And I don't think that Trev would have any problem with that. No, maybe he would.
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's, you talked about on Thursday, you had an announcement of renovating the stadium. You're trying to get some juice and some mojo for this program.
Need it.
And what would be better than, hey, let's kick it off by tearing down the goalposts.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, God.
We got the mojo. We got momentum. We've got some swagger. This program needs some swagger.
It does. It could use an upset, a pretty sizable upset. And it's not inconceivable. I mean, like I said, you want to see a day today that's not predictable. Predictable is what, Jake? Oh, Nebraska kind of hangs in there. Kind of like, I mean, isn't it easy to envision a game like Louisiana Tech, Nebraska last week, where Louisiana Tech didn't get blown out, but you never really felt like Louisiana Tech was going to win the game?
No.
Is that what it's going to be today? But the same with Nebraska. Isn't that kind of the way it sets up?
Yes.
That Michigan will assert itself, maybe be pushed, but you always kind of know that Michigan's pretty much in control.
Well, this is the question about how truly good is Nebraska's defense. We know the offense is going to have issues. We already know. There is no questions that we know the offense is going to have issues today. It's just they had 8 completed passes against Louisiana Tech. Okay, that's just a fact. It's going to be a struggle. But is the defense, which is right now tops in the country in yards per game against them, can they? Is that real, or is it the competition you face? Now, it's probably somewhere in the middle. Michigan's going to say, we're going to run the football. You're going to have to stop us. But we're going to find out how truly good this rush defense is today.
We are. We're going to find out a lot about that defense, Nebraska's defense. There's Michigan poses problems, but they're not. It's not like an Ohio State offense that blows you away, because they don't have the receiver talent that Ohio State does. But McCarthy's a problem because he is like an NFL passer, but he can run. They're just going to try to they're going to try to blow Corum at you a bunch of times and see what they can get. And if it's not working that well, they'll open it up a little bit. And McCarthy can do that.
See, McCarthy, to me, again, everyone says he's the best quarterback in the conference. He might be. I'm not overly impressed with the guy.
You're not.
I'm really not. He's had some sloppy picks this year.
He had 3 against Bowling Green.
Now
that's the only
Bowling Green got
green. Yeah, I'd have to look at him.
And he had like 2 in the first 2 drives, didn't he? Early on.
But anyway, yeah, he's the best in the conference, though.
I would push Drew Aller in that conversation at Penn State.
No. Well, maybe eventually.
I'm just telling you.
Maybe eventually. What about the kid at Maryland?
Sure. Yeah. I'd take Tolly over McCarthy. I would.
Yeah,
Jake Sorensen would do that.
I'm not sure I would.
You can criticize me all you want. I would say I didn't respond to a text real quick because I have a problem with this text. I think you will too. I just brought up the field storming.
Okay.
Gorilla Bear.
Okay.
Great name, by the way, in the text line. Sauter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. By the way, if you're listening, give us a roll call. Where are you listening from? What's your name? Why not? It's a Saturday.
Yeah, why not?
Gorilla Bear says Nebraska is not a school that should ever storm the field. That's a dumb take. Gorilla Bear, let me tell you something. Yeah, you got 5 titles. I get it.
Yeah.
You haven't made a bowl game in 6 years.
Right.
Do you remember how epic it was last season when Tennessee, a very good, successful school over time, stormed the field against Alabama? It was awesome. That's the conversation we had about the goalposts getting out of the stadium and down the river. That's awesome. Tennessee's a very proud program. And they didn't say, oh, we're too good to storm. No, you're not too good to storm.
No, okay? I 100%
You have missed a bowl game every year since 2016. Screw that. Storm the field if they win.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, here's the thing.
Sorry, Gorilla Bear. I just had to put it out there.
Right. I mean, it'd be nice radio if I could disagree with you. I can't. I just have some fun. This program needs some fun, Jake. Just go have some fun.
Swagger.
Go have some fun. Swagger and fun would be great. We haven't had enough fun around here. Oh, my God, Jake. Don't storm the field because we won a national title in 1997. I mean, come on. I mean, it's been a long time.
Gorilla Bear, get over yourself.
The fact is, Jake, this is now an underdog program.
It is.
That's what it is.
You have to accept that.
Yeah, you can live in the past to a certain extent. I do every day. I live in the past. But as a program, you have to look at yourself honestly, right? And right now, Nebraska is Jake. I mean, let's face it, mediocre's being a little kind.
It is. Well, the big thing this week is if you are a fan of Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, the owner, the Stool president, he's in town, by the way. He's in Lincoln.
Dave Portnoy.
With Will Compton, Taylor Lewan, Big Cat, all those guys. So he made a shirt that said, make Nebraska mediocre again. And it was a positive thing. He was not trying to take a shot. He's like, I want Nebraska to be at least respectable. And it's going both ways about who, is this a shot? He's like, I'm trying to be serious. I want them to be a team that's in a bowl game every year.
Right.
And so he's wearing the shirt today. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. I know mediocre is a horrible thing to want to be, but when you're not mediocre, that's a step in the right direction to be that before it can advance.
The debate is not a very pleasant debate, nor very interesting. Well, nor very interesting. Is Nebraska football, Nebraska? Well, no, what I'm saying, the debate is Nebraska mediocre? Are they that good?
2-2 would say they're mediocre at this moment.
I would say they've been mediocre. I'm not in the camp that says they've been bad.
There's Eric Strickland in the glass.
I'm not in the camp that says they've been bad.
Well, the record would indicate so, but the way they've got to that record is not always the case.
Right.
They've been respectable in these games.
So back to the field storming. Yeah, 100%. You storm the field. Have fun. Don't act like you're something you're not. Just go get it.
Don't.
So we'll see what happens.
Don't be that person.
I don't know how the path to winning is. You have to play. First of all, you're going to have to play exceptionally well on defense and special teams. That's the only shot you got. And then you're going to have to figure out some big plays, and you're going to have to get some turnovers. There's a long list of things that you're going to have to do to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
The list is much longer than Michigan's list.
I hate saying this, but to me, the path to victory is they got to probably get some fake, some trick plays to work. Because if you go straight up against Michigan, I don't think you're going to push the ball very often. We mentioned during the show, I said we're going to have a fake punt. I think I expect a fake punt at some point today. Maybe a halfback pass. Get creative. If you can't move the ball, if Anthony Grant can't find a hole, I know he's really good at breaking tackles, but Michigan does not miss tackles. They're number 2 for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 for a reason.
I know.
They let breakaway
Well,
runs
one of the
happen.
reasons they're number 2 is they've played nobody. So I don't know, Jake. I don't know if the trick play thing, let me assess that after the first quarter. I kind of want to look at Michigan a little. I don't know if you need to do that or not.
I think
I don't want to overdo it with Michigan praise right now.
Nebraska probably needs to take a deep shot early to make them respect the passing game and not just stack 9 in the box and say, well, we know that your quarterback can't pass.
Now, the downfield passing game, keep in mind that wind.
I know.
The wind is whipping. Now, it's the good news. The wind is whipping when Michigan has the ball, too. So
it is.
I don't know how that's going to affect things, but it's a windy, hot day. It'll be swirling in the stadium. I wonder how that'll affect the passing game. That's something to watch in warm-ups.
From the text line, 464-5685. saying, what has Nebraska been? Someone says they have been putrid, not mediocre, putrid.
They have not been putrid.
They have not been putrid.
No.
The win-loss record has been putrid. The way they've gotten there has not been
right.
Putrid.
I mean, that would, for instance, I think of our friend Bill. How he must react to that. Were they putrid in Iowa City last year?
No, they were up 24-0 and won the game.
Were they putrid against Wisconsin here in Lincoln last year?
The offense was putrid, but the defense was not. There's two parts. The defense was great.
Right.
The offense
they
was
lost by 1 point to Wisconsin.
The offense was bad. The defense was exceptional that day.
Right.
Shout out to Bill.
Yeah, they weren't. No, this is program. I've seen putrid programs. This is not one. It's not. I'm probably going to say it's been mediocre. It's been mediocre.
Nyla is on her way to Lincoln right now. See you soon.
Our friend.
Twizzlers is saying 26-21 Nebraska, and yes, field storming.
Oh, God. That would... Jake, can you imagine?
Our show on Monday?
Monday show, excitement for the season, because the excitement for this game, let's just be real, hasn't been great.
No.
It has not. It's been a bit of a... there's just not a lot of anticipation, it doesn't seem like. Strange to me. I was downtown last night. I was struck by it. But that would all change in a matter of one afternoon if Nebraska wins this game. And Jake, you know where we're at too. Unfortunately, close game doesn't change.
No.
Close games to what? Oh, great! They lost another close game.
Think about if they won a close game. Number one, you beat a really good opponent, and number two, you won a close game. Oh, all this conversation about Nebraska can't. All they do is lose close.
Mm-hmm.
That changes quickly.
Oh, Matt Rule would benefit tremendously because the players' buy-in, it's probably good already, would escalate. Fans' buy-in in Rule's program would escalate. Everything would escalate. Excitement would escalate a ton, in part because of that manageable schedule.
By the way, again, come on by. We are live at 1040 O Street. I see Mike Rozier is in the premises here. Yeah, Mike Rozier, Heisman Trophy winner, is on the premises. I just saw him in the studio on the station.
This is crazy.
So come on by, see the Heisman winner, and check it out. Your official prediction before we go, Sip.
Oh, do
you have an official score?
Yeah, I predicted for Husker Online, and I predicted it to be fairly close. I think Nebraska will hang in there. I just don't think they're ready to pull off something of this magnitude. I predicted 27-17.
Okay.
27-17.
That's a lot of points for Nebraska, 17.
That's what people keep saying. Now that might mean a short field. That might mean a short
I would
field.
say very similar in terms of the spread. I'm going 23-14 Michigan.
Okay.
23-14. So they cover the spread.
Very similar scores.
I mean, there's some positives there, but hopefully that they can, the most important thing is, hey, go to Illinois and get a win there. All right. We, do well today, play well. But as Bill said all throughout the offseason, the season is all about Illinois. You got to win that game next week.
It is. I mean, it's not all about any one game, but that's a huge one. Especially, I mean, think about it. If you win this one and lose that one, it would take a lot of the shine off, but not all the shine off.
Yes.
A win today would have gigantic ramifications, no matter what happens in Illinois. So let's just see what happens today. Then we'll worry about Illinois on a Friday night.
Yeah, we will. You'll be in Champaign. He is Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show live at our new studio at 1040 O Street, the northwest corner of 11th and O. Come on by, get some Mill coffee. They are up and at it. Get an iced coffee for this nice hot day. Mike Rozier is here, so come get an autograph or a picture with Mike Rozier and hang with us. We're here until 2:30. We'll have DP and Jay Foreman next on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
This school year's in full swing. Students are back in the class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong start to the school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
What do Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James have in common? They're all among the best athletes in their sports of all time. And they all do Pilates. Yep, Pilates is not just for women. It helps everyone to bring the muscles of the body into balance and help the mobility and strength in spine and joints. Pilates can help your golf game and anything else you do for fun. Do Pilates, do life. Check out Club Pilates in Lincoln today at 84th and Holdridge. Online at clubpilates.com/Lincoln or at 531-500-1456.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico.
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Sunbelt Rentals.
Good morning, the A1 Automotive Ticket pregame show. This is Jay Foreman and DP. This segment is brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and much, much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you get it. Sunbeltrentals.com. So we are here finally. It's first test time, or evaluation time, really. And I think for Nebraska, it's a big chapter in the first season, but it's not the whole book. And I always said every week is going to be a 12-game separate series because it's a program in transition, and transition is trying to adopt and adapt to new ways of and new views on what winning is. And you're seeing it play out live and in color. And now you got a team that's ranked number 2 in Michigan coming in. And it's a team that Matt Rule and the staff has said that they would like to copy and eventually become. So this is actually a better test and really learning a lot. But then also you have to make sure that you coach, compete, and prepare to win this game, because ultimately by doing so, you're learning a lot more than probably just testing yourself and going through the motions.
This is kind of this is after the labor, which is the first 4 weeks of trying to figure out things.
Right.
You're still installing as much as you like to believe you've done everything.
Right.
You're still developing.
Yeah.
And then you're still identifying what it is. Today, you get to, this is the housewarming. Right.
Hey, you got like the first open house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
This is it. That's probably a good analogy.
This is the one where you go, okay, I know we said the house was going to look like.
Right.
I know we said how hard we've been working.
Right.
This could be a day where it shows up in full. And here where I landed this morning was simplicity.
Yeah.
Like, I just want this simple.
Well, this should be simple, but it can't be basic. And if you look up the Webster's dictionary, those two words might be the same, but what you're probably saying is do the simple things right. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but do the simple things right and stay away from doing the self-inflicted wounds and doing the wrong thing. And then also, I don't want to be so simple that this is a glorified scrimmage that Michigan got to go. It's kind of like, I don't want this to be a jamboree for Michigan, right? Where, okay, the starters, we're going to play, and then eventually we'll have control of the game. And the second, third team, where the coach can tell you, you can plan on getting in. You're going to get good work. We're going to be able to develop our program and develop our backup players better by playing on the road at Nebraska, because they're not going to pose a challenge. This is a game to where at this point, you are still evaluating, you are still installing, and then you're destalling as well, because some of the things that you might have installed that might have looked good in training camp don't really look good in the real live games. Look at the motion that really caused a ruckus in multiple series at Colorado with trying to continue to run the run game. Well, then they look like they made adjustments. We'll just line up with a big guy and we'll come right at you. And so you got to make sure that you also are doing things that's going to put you in advantageous positions to be successful. Now, one of the things you could do with either quarterback, right? And obviously, I'm assuming Heinrich Haarberg is going to start. I'm assuming Jeff Sims is maybe healthy enough to come in if need be. Is the 11 or 12 personnel, whatever you see in there, and one back plays with a little bit wider splits to try to gain a athletic ability advantage on Michigan. Now, Michigan has good second level defenders, right? Linebackers and nickels. But I like to match up our quarterback and running backs on them versus trying to get into a phone booth with Chris Jenkins Jr., Colson, and all these other defenders where they know exactly where you're at. Threaten them by alignment, threaten them by position, give your spread out receivers really good angles on trying to be physical and setting edges or cutting people off for backside runs, and then keep Michigan off their heels. Because what you're going to see from Michigan, I can tell you this right now, or at least if I was their defensive coordinator, I would be up in the face of our receivers, and I would be making you beat me with the pass. Mm-hmm. And I would make you beat me with simple passes too. It wouldn't be that you have to solely throw deep. I would be like, I want to see you play pitch and catch for 60 yards,
in
7
traffic.
years, in traffic, or just with some sort of like resemblance of coverage. I would, and that's something that where they're really telling you, and they will show you that you have to make them respect you. But sometimes you can use that type of mindset against them, because then that lets you know their preparation probably isn't as tight as, say, like they're playing a Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, or something like that. So then, therefore, if you take the necessary steps to take the respect from them, now they're on their heels. Now you can actually get back and do the things that you like to do. Maybe quarterback run game in the option game, play action passes. You can run a little bit of jet sweeps, because then you're putting them in a disadvantage defensively and not knowing where you are or where you're going to come from. And then, on the flip side, you're going to give your defense a lot more rest for them to make adjustments, and then also to add some things that they want to really, probably stymie this run game and play action game, which they're going to have to do a great job in it. So I'm really interested to see who's going to really compete. Now, and this is not saying that they're not competitive, but competing against Northern Illinois and Louisiana, and it's not taking anything away from them. This is not disrespecting anybody, but they're not Michigan. They're one of the top 5 teams in the nation, whether they look like it or not. That's what they are. If you really are that dude, or you really are thought of to be that dude, we should see it.
Yeah, it's all those things. And I still have to land on the 90,000 and what it means to this community for this game to go well and for positives to come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you go, I think if you go out, if you've prepared all week to win, you prepared, and this is everybody, prepared all week to win, had the mindset that we have to play a really good game to win, and done all the things that you need to do, you'll have a positive result. There's no way, there's nothing negative that could come out. Now, granted, you lose the game, that's obviously the ultimate, barometer, but you also will get a clear evaluation of how you prepared. You will get a clear evaluation how big, fast, and strong you are. You will know if you're physical or not. You will know if you're mentally tough or not. You will know if you are mentally and physically and spiritually tough or not, or if you are or not, individually, collectively, as like individual like groups, right? Mm-hmm. And then as offense, defense, and special teams units. So you are getting more out of it than, all right, let's just focus on, okay, we lose 23-10. We only lost by 14. Well, we've coached enough basketball that where you're just out there doing that. And we've seen it 2006 when Nebraska went out to USC and essentially didn't snap the ball every single time with 1 second left and really just played to not get blown out. We've seen it this year, Indiana against Ohio State. You can play a good game and learn a lot, even if the scoreboard doesn't, match up to it, because you could sometimes lose a game by 21 points. We just saw this in high school. Millard South ended up winning by 20-some points. Well, with 8 minutes left, they were down by 3 points. Mm-hmm. In 3 minutes, Millard South went 21 unanswered points. A skinny post, you call it a bang eight, punt return off a drop punt, interception for touchdown. That's it. Always reference back when we played Kansas City when they had Priest Holmes and all those guys. We were winning 14-7 at home. We actually pretty much had the same thing happen to us. And then we end up losing by, 17 points. Well, yeah, when you look at it, you got blown out. But really, whatever that time stamp is, and we saw this year when Nebraska at Colorado. With 6 minutes left in the third quarter, it's a 3-point game. Next thing you know, you're down 20-7. You have to go back and look at that and understand where the whole game. And you wouldn't think that when you're watching that whole game that Colorado was 22 points better than Nebraska.
Let's go back a couple of years here, Memorial Stadium, Michigan.
Exactly.
While it seemed like a moral victory, it still was a part of the problem that existed,
right.
And it was never fixed.
Right, because you didn't address the issues.
Right.
Right. So that's
and
smoke screen.
Right. That part.
Right. So if you go out and play a clean game today, right, and they just got, they hit a couple big plays on you, right? They make a Randy Moss play, Blake Corum does something, or something, something happens that I wouldn't say out of your control, but you tip your hat because they're really good players. Okay, well then we got to figure out a way to do that. But if you're going out and kind of like backdooring your way into it, right? Scoring late, we've all seen this, right? You're down by 20 points. And then next thing you know, you get a couple late scores, and then that in the black and white, it's a 1-score game. Well, realistically, it was a 3-score game except for the last 7-8 minutes. So you have to be careful sometimes of only predicating success or positive out of the scoreboard. But to erase all that is if you prepared from last Sunday to here with the mindset, I'm going to do anything and everything I need to in order to win. And that's a collective thought from top to bottom. The performance out here will take care of itself.
Yeah, I through all of it, I'm excited for the fans today because there is a buzz down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
a lot more active than it's been.
Right. There's a buzz down here. And talent does that. Talent raises the water.
Sure.
It raises the tide. You have to, and then you find out, can I swim or will I sink?
Right.
The enthusiasm is what we've been looking for, because it's almost been a zombie walk to this point because people didn't really know. We don't know what this team is. We don't know. We don't know what to expect. And I think a little bit of today is no matter what happens, they're going into it. They're going to cheer in full. They're going to yell in full. Hopefully, the players don't get caught up in the wash.
Well, I think the one thing, and this is just a very, we only been seeing this 4 games.
Yeah.
It's 2 things. I think the fans know what kind of they're going to get, right? And I think they've been surprised in a good way, right? Getting on the, 80 to 35 north, going up to Minneapolis, probably expected an L, right? But then you leave there disappointed because Nebraska pretty much outplayed them and gave away the game, right? So now you could think like, okay, there's more of the same, but you know what? I'm really encouraged by what we've seen. Then we pretty much punched ourselves in the face against Colorado, and it's a unique situation where this is the first time this coaching staff, right? In the coaching staff, I mean, from the coaches and the support staff and the big staff that he has and the players been into a hornet's nest like that. That's where the ball was dropped because you had nobody to prepare them for that because nobody was able to tell them previous. So now that's a learning lesson. And then you're able to kind of lick your wounds and come back. And then also you've seen I call it a bounce back percentage. Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech, going to halftime, kind of look like you're running uphill on the side of a muddy mountain. And then you're able to go into halftime and make some realistic adjustments. So that means the communication and everybody that's watching and evaluating the game is able to articulate in a very condensed, intense time at halftime and make a real-time adjustment. So that's where their encouragement comes. And that's where fans should be going there and to say, okay, I know what I'm going to get. Second part, right? If the mindset, if I was talking to the team, I would be adopting of let's just see how Michigan reacts. Because I've watched Michigan, right? And have a ton of respect for them. But the one thing Michigan has never been able to do recently and don't like is when they get punched back or punched first. Their reaction to it this is just over history. What do you think of Georgia? You look at if you watch TCU, right? Only reason didn't respond well was totally, and not only the players, the coaching staff was totally on their heels based on that. So that's the mindset I would try to infuse them. And by no means does that mean that we need to go out there and be like Colorado State and have 500 yards of penalty.
Right. Don't do that. What
that means is let's dictate a higher pace that they're prepared for, and let's see how they react. And when and if they don't react well, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to keep cranking it up, right? And then therefore, even if they do react well, so be it. Then when that's how we like it, right? And then we kind of adopt a new mindset. And then if they don't react well, then it's time to step on your throat. So it's advantageous to be in if you change your mindset, how you think about it, and go about your business.
that this is week 2 for Michigan's coaching staff this season.
The full coaching staff.
Like this is week 2, and there was some rust last week.
Yeah.
Like it showed up.
Crusty rust that if you stepped on that nail, you probably get a staph infection.
It showed up at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It was 7-7 at halftime against a team that they should have been able to, and a program that's on par with Nebraska with the talent and the way it lines up and the things that it does. I mean, you got to remember, Rutgers went and took the 7-0 lead early. Michigan never quite got their wheels in the first half. Second half, lean on, and finally they can see.
And Rutgers got a little too desperate early while going for it on fourth down, backed up.
Still don't understand it.
Right. Well, then that's how they got another 7 points. Well, then that's how the floodgates just opened right there. And so part of these games here is, you talk about poise, right? That's not just the players. We talk about quarterback play all the time. We talk about DBs or whatever, you play with poise, right? Well, it's not solely on the players. You have to make sure that you're doing the right things in under pressure situations, because the play clock seems to slow down as the game gets tighter. The tighter the game, the more advantageous position Nebraska's in. Michigan hasn't shown to perform well in tighter games. That doesn't mean you play tight. That means you play steady. And there's those are two different things. You know what I'm saying? And so, and it starts with a mindset. And obviously everything today is not going to be 100%, what you did in practice, but the fundamentals and the things that are very, very important should have been laid forth in this week's of practice and preparation. This isn't a let's just get through this game and try to put all efforts into next Friday night. Let's go out and try to win this game, and particularly win this game. And then we're going to double down on it before we go into bye week and doing something that's never been done in this recent, let's just say 10-year period of Mike Riley, Scott Frost in the first year of, can't say Matt Rule, but of the last 2 previous coaches, that we're able to do the unthinkable, get a ton of success. Because if you think about Colorado and the success they had in the first 3 weeks, Nebraska beats Michigan. I'm telling you what, everybody from Herb Street, Davis, everybody's going to be here talking about Matt Rule, how'd you do it? Then you got to go on the road to a sleepy game on Friday in Champaign, Illinois, and double down on it. That has not been done around here, and it has nothing to do with the talent. It has to do with dealing with success.
I don't want anybody in Lincoln, Nebraska talking about Champaign or Urbana, Illinois until 6:30 tonight.
Right.
Like I don't. Right. Well, no, because this is where, for the focus of the team,
right,
and the focus of the fan base, don't do that to yourself.
Right.
Like, don't do it. Like, let's simply be present, as you say, be where your cleats are.
One play at a time.
Right. 10 toes down.
Right.
And simply play by play, as the mantra says, play by play, get better and better.
Right.
That's all we're going to ask for, and focus on that. I don't know what it looks like. I in my head, I've played this game out in my head.
And it came out 4 different times.
Entirely different ways, because, and I can tell you that the last one was simple for me in that I just kept looking at time of possession.
The last
time of possession and turnover. Like if Nebraska's plus in both of those, everybody leaves Memorial Stadium happy.
Oh yeah, we got a ball game.
Right?
Yeah.
Time of possession, whatever way you do it. And I don't care if you throw 44-yard passes.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care.
Yeah. Stop Route City.
Look, Fedoni, pop pass.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Like
or giving the head nod. Look, yeah, you know what to do, right?
Yeah, like just like we're gonna activate Thomas
Borkature. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Kelsey Fedoni.
Yeah.
And we don't even have to call route combinations.
You just get open.
Listen, bro. Run the green, I'll throw the green.
Hey, dude, it'd be like if we're out here doing if I'm telling Jake out here, Jake, I want you to go in between that white and green car, get open, turn around, and catch it before the pole.
Run the green,
Yeah.
I'll throw the green. That's how this is going to work. And then defensively, this is a day where you count missed tackles.
Sure.
Right? This is a day that for both teams,
right,
tackling will show up on the scoreboard in a high volume. I'll say this: better tight ends win the day. Better offensive lines win the day.
Right.
Like you have to go, and the challenge would be, and this is what I loved about all the great coaches I've ever been around. And Dom Capers was in this school, Joe Gibbs was in this school, Urban Meyer was in this school, Kyle Whittingham was in this school. That the challenge was to every group in the room.
Answer.
To win the day.
Answer the call.
Like, listen, quarterback room, you got to win.
Is the phone ringing, Jake?
Right?
Answer the call.
Right.
Answer.
Like the running back room. I don't care how good their running backs are hyped. Anthony Grant has to be better today.
Hey, look, man. Hey, listen.
It's got to be better.
They put on jock straps and girdles just like you, man. Hey, man, they just a man. They just men. They just people.
Win the
Go
day.
handle your business.
Yeah.
The game of football, listen, if you're about to play this game against Michigan and you can sit still, it's got to mean something to you, man.
Man, I'm chewing on the wall right now.
It's got to mean something to you. I mean, I just want to go see who's going to compete because to me, this is an easy game to get. I always tell people the games that I look forward to are the ones with the most pressure because I like those because I know I'm going to be ready. I'm assuming you're going to be ready.
Build for that.
And then when I beat you, then mentally you can't do nothing else,
Build
right?
for that.
So
Build
those
for that.
because it's going to bring the best out to you. And this isn't about like everybody's going to get got. You done got your butt kicked. We had Irvin Fryer in here, Mike Rozier, Ricky Simmons, myself, Farley, Rashawn, everybody. Everybody's had the moment where you just like, man, that dude just ran through me, right? But look at Farley. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Farley. But it happens though. But what makes a champion versus a chump is, do you answer the call? Do you raise your level of play? Are you the same person in this game that you are, or in the first game that you are? Like, can you only play good against Louisiana Tech in Northern Illinois? Or can I count on you to raise your level of play when we play against the best? That's what I need to see. Because if the guys raise their play and rise to the challenge, it's not a challenge. It's just a formality. And that's the difference. And whether you want to adopt a baseball type of mentality or anything like that, or baseball bat type of mentality, like sometimes like I was talking about this on the way down here. Like sometimes when you're coaching, you got to get out of your norm to implore and kind of force your team to do something different, right? So if I feel strongly about something, like I'm gonna change it up. It ain't fake. Like if I'm telling you, you need to have a baseball bat mentality. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's hitting you in the mouth. If I tell you have a baseball type of mentality, Jake, I expect you to run on that field with a baseball bat right past their sideline so they think you're going to beat their ass with it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This game is mental here. Now I'm sure people might, you can't do it. Listen, hey, I ain't hit them with it. I'm just want you to think every time that I hit you hard and then I don't help you up, that's that baseball bat tearing you out the frame. Or I'll be nice enough. Everybody's old enough here. I'll just say, well, get a couple switches and run down there. Because when Jake didn't probably have this, but when my grandma Nanny said get the switch, that butt was about to be tore up out the frame.
It was on.
And then the best part was she used to tell you, I love you, right?
Right.
No, you don't.
Right.
Right.
This
so
hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah. You lying like listen, why am I crying and you smiling?
Right.
Listen, at the end of the day, my job is to tear your butt out the frame.
Yeah. Get it right.
Right. So, I mean,
this is a get it right day. We're thrilled about it. I believe the captain and Farley are here.
We've seen Farley. He's leaving there. He like the running back coach walking up O Street. Where's Waldo?
Mike Rozier's outside. Steve Taylor's outside.
You got plenty.
Amon Green is on the way. Ricky Simmons is here. Hey. Strick is here. Stop on through. Come on through. As a matter of fact, come on through to the mill. They've got a scarlet and cream mixture that they're blending today that's golden, and they've got a black shirt blend as well.
There it is.
So come on through.
There it is, Jake. Look, we even got Jake for an extra 15, 20 minutes.
As Jay Foreman likes to say, come see me.
Yeah. See you. One wanna be. You look at Farley trying to look at right there. If he's on live, look at Farley. Look at he's trying to talk Vershawn in.
Right.
You know when somebody needs to land a plane?
Right.
Farley's try to get Vershawn. But anyway, this is Jay Foreman DP, brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals, A1 Automotive, Ticket Tailgate pregame show for Michigan. Go Big Red and tear that butt out the frame. We're out of here.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
This is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. With over 20 years in the industry, I have found it's extremely gratifying to solve my customers' home financing needs and then show them the options and strategies available for them to fulfill their goals. But my biggest reward comes when I watch my valued customers experience the American dream of home ownership and move into their new home. Talk with me about your home loan at Lincoln Federal and Go Big Red. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Personal banking like you remember.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Blecker and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
This school year's in full swing. Students are back in the class learning, making new friends, and developing new interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Parents, communication is key to helping your student maintain a strong start to the school year. Whether your student is in high school or navigating the new world of kindergarten, keep an open dialogue about what they're learning and how they are growing.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77 in Pioneers.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador.
We're here at 1040 O Street 93.7, the ticket, theticketfm.com. I'm Austin Norman with
the black shirt.
Farley,
And
what's up?
I'm doing great, man. It's hot out there. It's very humid. It's going to take a lot for these players today. It's going to take a lot of substitution because we're going to be around 94 degrees around kickoff. And this Nebraska heat right here today is probably going to play a major factor in this game, either for both sides.
The heat, 30-mile-an-hour winds projected by the time we get to kickoff. Woo!
Yeah. So,
Toasty.
It's going to be a hot day. But before we start today with our segment that we're going to do, read off our
Yes, the sponsor of this segment, Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group, BHHS Ambassador. Whether you're buying or selling a home, you need someone you trust. Contact Ben and the team today at Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador. Today, to start that process, that number is 402-419-6309. Big thanks to Ben Bleicher.
Yeah, so today in the studio, first I have a father of one of the players. You know, this young man transferred from the University of Texas, met his father a year ago. He's a good guy. He's one of those fathers that would travel anywhere to see his son play, and that's what we need, more of people like him today. Introducing New Washington. How you doing, Mr. Washington?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Tell us something about you and Marcus' story about how y'all got to Nebraska and how the journey's been, and what can we expect from Marcus today that they practice hard with all week, we hope.
I mean, like, just being here, that's obviously that's good. Kenny Wilhite, who he no longer here, he was real instrumental. Mickey was helpful getting him here. I think he just need to get his opportunities and take the most of it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
It is, you know, he comes from a team like Texas that don't really run like Nebraska, but is run blocking one of his strong suits when it comes to how they switch the offense around the last couple of games?
Yeah, I think he's a good blocker. I mean, I'm his dad, so you know I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna say like Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens better than him because I'm his daddy, right? But like realistically, come on, yeah, he can block. Yeah.
As you watch him grow, what have you been impressed with seeing him where he was in high school to where he is today?
I think the not just Marcus, but all kids, the shock and awe of being the man in high school and being the dude who got to carry shoulder pads in college. You know what I'm saying? That you got a big ego, right? Coming out of high school, you know, you had the cheerleaders, everybody thought you was the best thing since sliced bread. Then you get in college Now you got to carry a guy's shoulder pads, and you got to start all over that climb, that grind, that doubt. And, now it's college football, so it's business, right?
Mhm.
Like, let's just say since it's business, like the average snap might cost $5,000 for a kid in practice.
Yeah.
So do they really got $15,000, 3 snaps to waste on you? No.
Mm-mm.
So transitioning from that part to the business side of it, just growing as a person. And so I think now he ready. If he get his opportunity, yeah, he gonna handle his business.
Terrell, talk about that line between, being the man in high school, having all those accolades, coming to a place like Nebraska where there's a lot of pressure. You're playing big boy, big time college football. You have to have that ego to some degree to know you're the man and practice like the man, but you also have to have that humility. Like, what's that line? How do you find it as an athlete?
Well, you like they always say, you practice how you play. So if you practice perfect, you're gonna play perfect, and you got to have that mentality as a whole, as another, the other 10 guys on the same, got to be on the same level as you. Unfortunately, I happen to have that great commodity of guys that I played with on the 95 team, because even the 96 team, the defense was great.
Mhm.
But, it's all about y'all nucleus. And that's the thing about college football today. Everything is serious now about it. So you got to take practice serious. You got to take your snap serious. You got to do your film work and everything on a serious level, or you're going to be behind the ball. And that's not a good thing if you really want to play. Now, me, I came in as a junior college player, and I came in as a junior college All-American, which I had to try to live up to the standards of when I came to Nebraska. But people need to know I started off 5th on the depth chart. I went from 5th to 1st in over 5 weeks. Still was able to score touchdowns the first 3 games of the season, but I played my role first to lead up to starting. So there's a role for every player on this team. They just got to play their role and let it come together as you play it out.
Who are some of those role players you're looking for to step up today against Michigan? We know the headlining names you've talked about all week, but who are some of those guys you maybe haven't mentioned that you think need to play a big part in this one today?
Well, always Fedoni has to play a big part in this game, because he's the X factor with the way we run our offense. If we're running option, if we're running, just a tight end of play action, a bootleg, something to get the quarterback open, or something to get a quarterback time to watch these guys. Now, on defense, it's a lot of these guys, but I'm looking for a linebacker to step up today and try to contain this running game that Michigan got, because Michigan's not going to play with us, and this is going to be the biggest test for the defense this year so far. So it flips around today, because now the defense got a target on their back, because they're playing Michigan, of course, who averages 165 yards a game. So, me earlier in the week, I say that Michigan probably get 200 yards. So we have to play the factor of how big their offensive linemen are, how well coached they are, and this is not probably a double team, because they're going to try to beat you physically first. So we're going to see how it play out today.
The matchup I'm looking at is out wide, right? Michigan, when it comes to its run defense, it wants teams to run right at it. It trusts its defensive line to be big, be strong, to hold up. Fascinated to see how the wide receivers, including Marcus, hold up on the edge, blocking those cornerbacks, right? We talked about it with Colorado. Go hit Travis Hunter, right? He doesn't want to be physical. Michigan's dudes are good at covering, but a lot of their tackles have come from their linebackers and from their defensive line. To me, I think Nebraska has a chance to be physical at the defensive backs, wear them down, take those shots downfield when they're available, but they're not going to be used to defending Nebraska's style of run game. And I think it's going to start, obviously, with the offensive line, but if you're going to run on the perimeter, springing those long runs is going to come on those guys on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan got great linebackers, but, like we say, we got to run right at them. You got to run Anthony Grant at them. You with the way they linebackers play, I don't think our quarterback can get on the outside, because especially with Ernest Hausman out there, who's 3rd on the team in tackles and doesn't even start. But this is a great group right here that Michigan has, probably their best team of all time right here, because of the amount of NFL players they probably potential they have. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a great opportunity to see, can we really play with the big boys, and this is what it's all about. I mean, Michigan has a great defense, gives up 5.8 points a game. So, they haven't played anybody. We sure haven't played anybody. So this is going to be, the tale of 2 teams right here to see who come out on top.
It sure will. You mentioned the number 2. I think that's a big one. That's what Michigan comes in ranked. Number 2 in the country. Your team's won a lot of games against top 5 teams. It's been since 2001 since Nebraska's beat a top 5 team. Obviously, the game's played on Saturdays, but what goes into the preparation for a top 5 game in the week?
You got to be perfect. Everything got to be perfect. Special teams, offense, coaching, defense, kickers. Everybody got to be on the tune that what you learn and practice all week has to show in the game. No mistakes. You can't afford a mistake against a team like this with Michigan, especially with a great running back that they have. You got to tackle right. You got to block right. You got to make the right reads as a quarterback. You got to get separation as a receiver. This is just going to be that game where if you had the perfect week of practice, you should not have any fear coming into this game.
Coach Farley's in the locker room with the defensive line, the outside linebackers, whatever group it is you're coaching. What's your message to your guys? Is it us against the world? No one believes in us? Or is it you're on scholarship too? You can hang with these guys.
You know, what I would take it a different approach. I say go out there and have fun because the more you have fun, the better you play the game. The more you worry about it and worried about making mistakes, you don't play great. So go out there, have fun, make tackles, run around, get your teammates involved, and the main thing, be safe. So, you know, that's about all I could tell them.
Were the top 5 games the most fun for you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they was all top 10 games or top 5, top 10s. Anybody you play that's ranked is always a target to beat you. Now, we played Colorado, which was number 5. We played Kansas, which was number 10. We played 7. We played a K-State team that was in the top 10. And then we played a team in Florida that was number 2. So it's always fun to play those top-ranked teams, and it's always fun to beat the mess out of them because
you guys did.
Without beating them bad, you know, you don't leave an impression on them.
We got the captain working his way in the building.
Yeah, about time.
What up, Captain? VJ, come on, step on in. This is your show. I'm just filling for you. Pull up a chair.
What up, dog? What up, dog?
VJ here in the building. Toby Wright in the building. We got chairs. Pull them up. Pull them up. Pull them up.
What up, baby? I'll come just crash the party, baby. What's up, man? What up, T? That's how we roll. Bringing in the big wigs with the big wigs already in. New here.
Yeah, I know about that.
Talk about, man, we need a big day out of your son. Both of y'all sons. Boy, we got the dads on, y'all. It's dads. It's dads.
They got to get it right.
Come on, man. Dads. You see the shirt I got on? Huh? Where is the camera? Where's the camera? This one? Which camera? It ain't on me. It's on them over there. You need the headphones on. You need to scoot to the mic, Toby. Toby Wright in the building, man. St. Louis, Arizona. How many teams you play for in the NFL? Yeah, talking to Mike. You can't sit back here like you tired or something, man. You tired?
Yeah, that's not how that works. Carfax.
Look at that. They got it good. They can see it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yes.
Listen, it's us, Terrell. I'm gonna give you your flowers while you still breathing. You did great this week. You did great.
What do you mean?
Dude, every team you pick is winning. Florida is getting killed by Kentucky. Killed.
It's called football knowledge. It's not about who's ranked higher. It's about if you watch them, you know who's better. Okay. You know, that's the thing. You can watch 5 minutes of a game and know that they're better than some team that they play. Like I said, Kentucky's a great team, been a good team since they got that coach. And I knew Florida had been on the ropes all year. So, you know, my next victim might be, did I go with LSU?
No, I thought you went away from LSU.
I really wanted to go with
Auburn. LSU.
I really wanted to go with Auburn, but that's
who Auburn playing?
They played Georgia, but you
didn't do it.
I didn't do it though.
You should have. Ooh, it's 10-10 now. Northwestern. Who is that? Who are they playing? Northwestern. Penn State just scored.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting ready to dominate them at this point. Let me ask you two dads something real quick, because both of you guys have sons on the team, right? Having a son on the team and sitting in the stands, how is that for y'all? Or do you even are you one of those cheery dads? Are you come on dad? Or are you man, you should have did this, dad? What kind of dad are you?
I just sit there and watch.
You don't ever say nothing.
Like at this point, if I gotta motivate you and instruct you, if I gotta motivate you and instruct you, then it's not for you.
Oh, it's too late.
Right. Like if you need a pep talk, today, if you need a pep talk, like a phone, hey dad, I need you to give me like this ain't for you, bro.
Right.
Come on home. You can paint with me, and we can give your spot to somebody that want it. Like you don't need to be motivated. You just need to be alive. Give you a mouthpiece and a chin strap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything else.
Yeah.
So when I watch them, I just
do your thing, son.
Yeah.
That's it. Toby, it might be a little bit different with Toby. Toby, what type of dad are you?
No, he said it right. Like I said, in between that time, when it comes down to it, yeah, you don't have to give pep talks. There's no such thing. But you got to be there to give him that look to turn him up when he got to go.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man, to look at how the game is today, because when you look at kids, we used to fight all the way through. We played in this rambunctious game of passion, just going nuts. You don't even see that on the sideline. You don't see guys walking around cheering each other, looking in each other's eyes, telling them, come on, whoop, 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 whoop. So at the end of the day, my job is for my guy is to, man, every time I make contact with, dad, you got to try to please dad in some fashion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the game is just so complacent right now. You know what I mean? So guess what? I mean, the same thing. I try not to be in his face to motivate him, because you don't need motivation. No, not when you get to this level. When you look up there and you got the whole stands out there cheering for you, I'll be damned if you turn around and need a motivation talk.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, man, when it's time to play, you just need to be tapped, pinched, pushed forward, because lifestyle is not that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that kid that doesn't do that anymore, that's real folly that came from JUCO like me, that no matter what it is, you don't have to pep me up. We just come from nothing. So we fight.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? No motivation talks. It don't even matter. But these kids, you need them. Yeah.
They do this in this day and age. Okay, so when I look at this game, right, because your son's on offense, Washington, your son, Wright, is on defense. In order to even have an opportunity, both of those individuals are going to have to play extraordinary and do the unthinkable and probably make a play that we didn't know they were going to make in order for us to win. We got to get a pick out of Wright. We got to get a touchdown out of Washington today, because you're going to have to throw the ball down the field today. You have to. Yeah. It's a Michigan team that is scary on both sides of the ball. So when you look at, have y'all looked at Michigan?
Yeah.
It's just as, or do y'all even do that type of stuff? Do you?
No, I watch football. Yeah.
So how good is Michigan? What's our opportunity? What's our chances against Michigan? To you, Dad. You don't. Is it me?
Yes.
It just matters. I want Terrell to go.
It matters how we start this off. So if we get to a point to where we start off the game steady, which I think they will, I like it because I know Harbaugh. I've known him. One thing about him, he's the X's and O's. He's a fundamental guy. He's going to establish, and then by halftime, he's going to see if he can pound you down. But at the end of the day, when I was telling my son, you got to do everything right. I got to get you to play outside your box. My son is the fundamental guy. He gonna grade out. He gonna do everything great. He's gonna do his play. I need the extras now. I need the extras now.
Extra stuff.
That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to get him to turn that corner. You know what I mean? And guess what? The Terrell Farleys, the Toby Wrights, I should say, we just did it just because that's what we was doing. We did extras, and we were screaming at the guys, chasing the ball and making plays. That's what was happening. I got to get him to do that now, because he's just analytical, man. That's my son. He a brain, and that's how he plays.
You want to throw it to Terrell, let him take a stab at it, or you want to take a stab at that?
I mean, do I think we're gonna win?
Yeah.
Sean, man, listen.
It's gonna be tough.
I ain't gonna say it's gonna be tough. It's. I think the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game is gonna tell if we in it
or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like every game we played, we come out ready to play.
Yeah.
That Colorado game was ours, bro.
Okay.
Bro,
yeah.
that Colorado game, that was a Rocky match. Like they fought for that. They fought for that. If all they need is just that one play that's gonna take them over the hump, and like, you know what, we belong, we can play. Like they got it. It's like we got the eggs, we got the milk, we got the butter, we got the flour. They just ain't putting it together right.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? Everything on the table.
Got to put a good breakfast together.
Yeah.
What you doing?
You don't have pancakes, so you're leaving some ingredients out.
Come on, Terrell, chime in here. What do you
But
think? How do we get it done against Michigan? Can we get it done against Michigan?
I mean, like I said earlier in the program, it started at practice this week. It starts with the players, the coaches, special teams, offense, defense. Everything has to be done right. It has to be a perfect practice. You know, once you come into the game and you know stuff that you practice on and that you have that spunk in you, that you have that extra go, anything's impossible. Anything's possible. But, you know, just being realistic, if we do the things we do and don't kill our own self, we'll have a chance in this game.
Is Harburg starting? Harburg is starting. Yes. Okay, it gives us the best chance to win. But to me. No.
Well, the healthiest guy gives you the best chance to win.
Well, I'm saying, based on what we saw the last two games, I like it this way because now if Harburg struggles, right? If he struggles, now you can get a Jeff Sims in the game and it won't look crazy. But if you put Jeff Sims in and he struggles, now you got a problem inside that stadium. You asking me why I say that?
Is that even considered?
What?
Sims seeing the field
certain plays. I think if he's healthy enough to run
both
certain plays, then you bring him in there and you let him do wildcat. You bring him in there and you throw him off. I mean, if he's able to play. I mean, if Double H goes in this game and don't move the ball to halftime, if he can't move the ball to halftime, second half we need to do something different.
Okay, hold on.
What?
If we down 21-0 at halftime and he can't move the ball, we need to change quarterback.
Who are you going to change to?
Purdy, somebody.
Well,
Purdy.
Right now, you won't see those long runs you saw last week.
Not against Michigan.
Okay, because you know why?
Yeah.
They deliberately took away the pitch guy. They made him that star. Don't get me wrong.
I got
Everybody take that.
I'm in the building tonight. I'm on the sideline.
When they got up there and played the defense to that, they didn't even slow play the quarterback. They went straight to the pitch, man. He had no choice but to take a yard.
They didn't learn how to defend the option correctly.
Listen, 93.7 the ticket. It is Rashawn Jackson, Terrell Farley. Wait, I'm with
the black shirt.
And
Toby Wright.
And
and
you gotta say it loud.
Austin Orr.
There it goes. Listen, man, we are down here. It's like it's summertime. I hope no one cramps up. I hope we play like this is the last game we're ever going to play. Man. Because guess what? It might be. It just may be. You leave it on the football field. I told you this multiple times, and I'll say it again. If we show up to this game and not be dog tired, like everybody's tongue out at the end, you got energy to be like, hey, Dad, and hey, honey. We didn't leave it on the field. Michigan is coming in here to hit us in the mouth. It's personal for us. Because if you get embarrassed at home in front of your home fans, how is that going to leave you going into a quick Friday game against Illinois? Just leave it on the field, fellas. Don't leave it to chance. Don't let the refs beat you. 11 guys fly around. Special teams, I think, is going to be a deciding factor in this game. We haven't played well on special teams. We haven't kicked field goals well. Today's the day we got to get it done. If not, it'll be a long day. And Terrell, we'll see how long you stand on the sideline.
That's right. And we'll see you Monday.
You see me Monday. What do you mean by that?
We got to get out of here.
Wrap it up?
Yeah.
They're kicking us out?
Yeah.
Play the music then. Play the music, Austin. Play the music. Play it again.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and
go. I thought you was gonna go. You ain't got no juice. I had Mike Rowan in here.
Their daddies, they're scared today. You know that.
Is that what it is?
They
daddies today,
they
so
getting
they
their
get
game.
humble?
They getting their game face on right now. You know.
All right, listen. We are down here. Up next, Eric Strickland, Nick Sainer, Aaron Davis, Chris Rabb, Rico, Austin, Jake, Harrison, Jake, Harrison, all day. We out of here. I got 2 legends in the building. Oh, my bad. 3. Sorry. 4. I forgot me. 5. Holla at your boy. Go Big Red.
Sugar, how you get so fly? Say sugar, sugar, how you get so fly? But you don't get me tonight.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking like you remember.
Home. It's more than a place, it's a feeling. This is Eric Bertrand with Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. If you're looking for a place to call home, call me. Let's review your financing options and get you into the home of your dreams. Proudly serving Husker fans.
Personal banking like you remember.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
This is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. With over 20 years in the industry, I have found it's extremely gratifying to solve my customers' home financing needs and then show them the options and strategies available for them to fulfill their goals. But my biggest reward comes when I watch my valued customers experience the American dream of home ownership and move into their new home. Talk with me about your home loan at Lincoln Federal and Go Big Red. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Personal banking like you remember.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group are Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Select Plumbing.
We're back at it here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and the former Husker himself, Eric Strickland, joining you guys. This segment of the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issues, call Select Plumbing at 402-542-5319. We are live here, 1040 O Street. Come on down. It's been popping today as we are just under 2 hours away from kickoff between Nebraska and number 2 Michigan. Stricky, there was a lot of talk this week about how maybe the energy wasn't there. And maybe that was true earlier on in the week. But I think, so far this morning, the energy's here in Lincoln alive and well, despite it being a pretty warm day.
Yeah, there's no question. And how long can it last? That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're getting into the start of the hard part of the fall.
Yep.
And it's so beautiful, but the optimism is pretty good right here. I mean, there's nobody really just kind of walking down with a dejected face. Everybody has pretty good optimism about what the Nebraska Huskers are going to present today. And hopefully they'll do that. Saw a couple of fumbles and I teased some guys and I was like, hopefully that's not going to be us today. Hopefully we'll win a couple of those battles. And I think that's an important part of the game, Nick, is definitely winning the turnover battle. I think we have to be plus 1 to 2.
Yeah, I agree.
That will help us because it's got to be that. It's got to be special teams. It's got to be field position. All of those things are going to be important for today to have a signature win that the Huskers have that has eluded the Huskers for some time now.
Well, Nebraska hasn't beaten Michigan in the recent duels between Nebraska and the Wolverines, and so today opportunity for Nebraska not only to maybe boost their season a little bit more and shock the world. I mean, and this would be probably the biggest upset in the entire country if it were to happen today. I think you mentioned the optimism between from Nebraska fans. Heads are being held high still, despite somewhat of a disappointing start at times. But Nebraska's won 2 straight games. They did exactly what they needed to do in these 2 games that we kind of penciled in as much as we could, being Nebraska fans, as W's on the schedule against Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech. I think some of the outlook may look bleak because of injuries, but I think we need to remember that this is a 2-2 ball club. I mean, this is a team that's 500, and they're in a situation right now to looking ahead. They still have a chance to do something that they haven't done in the recent years.
Yeah, and one of the things I talk about is the foundations that are needed to build a good team.
Yeah.
What happens with teams that are surging or emerging or finding themselves climbing ladders, i.e. Duke, someone like that, right? They're probably not in totality a good team yet. They're winning games. They're inspired. They're doing things from week in and week out. Probably early on, some teams took them a little bit lightly and they end up busting them upside their head, right?
Yeah.
this is a situation where you will see whether Michigan is who they really are or not, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing right now Northwestern is giving Penn State everything that they can handle, and that's because Penn State is trying to become a top-tier team, and what you have is a lot of ebbs and flows because sometimes you play down to your competition.
Absolutely.
When you're a good team and that foundation has been set, you always stomp on your competition.
Well, and I think one thing that Nebraska fans can kind of hang their hat on, a little bit more so is Nebraska a lot of times plays up to their competition.
Yeah.
They will play most of the time a decent game. Obviously, there's been some little instances where they haven't. And have they put together 4 quarters of football? Not necessarily. Well, today they're going to need to. They're going to need to play maybe above their potential at times, even. When we're talking about Michigan, because Michigan's just going to have better athletes. They're in a multiple years into a head coaching and job, and they have consistency within their assistant coaches, and that's something that Nebraska doesn't have. Nebraska's had 5 offensive coordinators in the last 6 years. I mean, so this is one of those things where Nebraska's going to have to play above their potential and above what anything we've seen from them this week or this season.
Somebody's got to show up too.
And then also they need a couple bounces just to go their way.
Yeah.
They're going to need to maybe take some risks on defense. They're going to need to jump some routes. Wind's supposed to be blowing
Block
today.
a punt.
25-mile-an-hour winds today. Nebraska, whether there was 5-mile-an-hour winds or 25, they're not going to be able to throw the ball that effectively, Nebraska on offense, but Michigan can usually. And so today, in a day where it's 25-mile-an-hour winds, that's plenty of wind and gust to affect the football. Force J.J. McCarthy into some inopportune situations. Force him to throw some risky passes. And then take it away.
Yes.
It's the same thing we said last week against Louisiana Tech. Take the football away because why? We talk about the energy in the stadium. That's a great way to keep that energy in the Memorial Stadium.
Yeah,
today.
you don't want it to be a very just calm atmosphere. You really want it to be an effective crowd today.
Yep.
That's where teams can win because a false start here. A penalty there.
Yeah.
Something like that can put somebody behind the chains at the right time at the end of a half or going into the half, third quarter, at the end of the game, because you've got possession, you get that situation. Now you've got an opportunity to go and make something happen. Field position, all of those things are going to be important. The crowd is supposed to be to your advantage to help you in that manner to take away maybe a certain possession or a couple of down and distance situations. And that's what you're hoping to get today.
Well, I think one thing that necessarily hasn't been discussed a whole lot about this year to this point with this defense, because there have been a lot of positives, it's been getting off the field on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Nebraska multiple times throughout their first 4 games has gotten the opponent into 3rd and long behind the chains, right? Which is, as a defense, your best friend. It should be. Because it throws the offense off script. It maybe limits the playbook at times, and it forces somebody on the offense to make a big play. You, as a defender, have to know where the first down marker is, and you cannot either get beat on a deep ball, you cannot miss tackles. That's when those things are the most important because Nebraska today, it's going to take, we talk about energy again, not only in the fan base, but also on the sideline for Nebraska by allowing Michigan to convert a 3rd and 14, a 3rd and 16. That's going to be sitting there going, man, they were one play away from getting them to punt. And if that starts early in the game, if they go out, Michigan on an opening drive converts a 3rd and 14, a 3rd and 17, you're going to be, oh no, we might be in for a long one because, man, what would that have done for the momentum here early on to get the ball right back into Nebraska's hands after they force a 3 and out? You can't allow a 3rd and long conversion.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you have now a track record of a defense that's a bend and don't break type of a defense, okay? Good at attacking the quarterback, sacks, very disciplined. You're seeing some discipline out there, but you're seeing, like you just said, not reading and understanding route trees that can only get you what you need in long 3rd down situations. Like you have to understand route trees.
Yeah.
You have to understand if you have 3 receivers, what particular route tree could hurt you. Probably 2 verticals in the middle and a dig on the outside at that 14, 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? So a linebacker needs to be waiting in that zone, or you need to be reading that as a DB to get ahead of that route?
Well, so we talk about defense here, and we have a update from Memorial Stadium regarding the defense. And this is not good news for the Huskers. Experienced linebacker Luke Reimer and freshman standout Cam Lenhart are both out for today's game against the Michigan Wolverines. So once again, Luke Reimer and Cam Lenhart both out for today for Nebraska. So now, I mean, once again, something here. I'll say this: something changed over the course of this week, because what we heard from Matt Rule on Thursday was that everything was on schedule with Luke Reimer to go today. So something happened in the last 2 days, in the last 48 hours, to where, oh no, maybe we need to hold you back. And here's the deal: is Luke Reimer's the type of guy also to where even if it's nagging him a little bit, he's not going to miss this game against number 2 Michigan unless he absolutely has to. So once again, breaking news from Memorial Stadium: no Luke Reimer and no Cam Lenhart today for the Nebraska defense.
One thing, Nick, do you expect to see a couple of series or, a quarter of Jeff Sims today? Well, if you was to give it a percentage, what percentage would you give it as far as possibly seeing
I'm
it?
going to say 10%. And that 10% is when Heinrich Harburg makes a mistake. Now, we might see a specific package for Jeff Sims, but I know also that Jeff Sims is not 100% healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Sims is not 100% healthy. We saw it last week. Here's the deal, Strick. We saw it last week against Louisiana Tech. Jeff Sims came in when Heinrich Harburg lost his helmet, and he had to run. And it did not look smooth.
The same.
It did not look the same. It looked choppy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that against Michigan.
No.
You got to put guys out there that are 100% ready to go and are ready to get hit.
Okay.
And Jeff Sims, although mentally he might be there like starving to get back into the game, his body might not.
Yeah.
And you have to listen to your body at some point if you're Jeff Sims and say, I need to let this fully heal before, because I don't want to come back and be 75% Jeff Sims. I need to be 100% Jeff Sims.
Well, I can tell you this. There are going to be some keys today, and I'm not talking about just keys to the game as far as yardage and all of that. The linebacking and the defensive ends, or the rush end core of Michigan, is keying on Harburg today. I promise you, they're not going to let him get off.
Yeah.
They're going to make him in option situations,
exactly.
pitch the ball. They're going to hit him. So you're hoping to have a big day. And here's why. They don't believe that the depth of Nebraska is enough. So they're going to take away Harburg, because they're looking at those rush numbers for him, and they're like, oh yeah, he's getting hit today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something that you've got to be mindful of. And you remember, Nick, that old Tommy Frazier, the old option down, and Pat, I think that's got to be a hit today, because you need to be able to take advantage of them thinking that you're going to run and maybe sneak a tight end behind the linebackers, get a safety looking downhill, and try to catch some big plays. You got to try to catch a couple of big plays today.
I genuinely think the way that this game's going to go with Michigan, they're going to force Heinrich Harburg to be smart. Like they are going to test his football IQ.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to send him. They're going to position themselves defensively in some different packages that maybe Heinrich hasn't seen up until this point through Northern Illinois and through Louisiana Tech. And I think that they're going to make him make a decision with a snap of a finger.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, although through 2 games, Heinrich is still somewhat inexperienced.
Mm-hmm.
He is quite inexperienced. And so if you're Heinrich Harburg, there's the little details that we see maybe young quarterbacks mess up on, whether it's throwing the ball out of bounds instead of throwing it in double coverage, tucking it down and running with it when you need to, keeping the keeping the ball on an option play instead of handing off to your running back. So number one, your running back doesn't get lit up, and number two, you don't fumble a toss or a handoff. Little things like that, to where even on a 2nd and 3, it's okay to give the extra effort. But it was interesting last night at the high school game. I was watching the North Star, and Tommy Armstrong said something on the sideline
to their backup running back who's a freshman. And he said on 2nd and 4, he tried to reach out an extra yard and he almost fumbled it, but they called him down. He gets back over to the sideline and Tommy Armstrong goes, "Why are you reaching? It's 2nd and 4 from our own 30. You're not scoring a touchdown." Like those little things to where understanding the moment of the game, understanding the pressure and the moment of the situation is going to be huge for an inexperienced quarterback like Heinrich Haarberg.
I would have to agree. And I would also think it would be advantageous for him in any scramble situations, understanding that little detail as well. 2nd down, 3rd down, slide, no slide. You have to try to minimize the hits that people are going to put on you. So if you have opportunity to slide, unless you're going on a 3rd down and 8 and you're on a scramble and you see that line to gain, you need to go and bull in. That's a different thing than if it's 2nd down and then you're there, you go ahead and maybe slide and not take the punishment.
And that goes right back to the making the good decisions, right?
Yeah.
Because Jay and I talked about it on the post-game show after Northern Illinois with the first time we saw Heinrich Haarberg, into where it's great to lower your shoulder to deliver that blow, and Nebraska fans gravitate towards that physical play. We get that. Now, you're facing a different beast today. You're not facing a Northern Illinois defense. You are facing 4- and 5-star guys that have NFL-type bodies. That they are going to go for your head. They are going to try to take Heinrich Haarberg out of this game, and that's where the situational awareness on a big picture scale in terms of Nebraska's program, where the backup quarterback right now is not healthy.
Right.
Heinrich Haarberg is close to 100% healthy. Heinrich's got to understand that Nebraska can't afford to get him hurt. And so once again, while Nebraska fans, while Heinrich Haarberg likes to play that physical way, you can play physical without playing reckless. And Heinrich Haarberg's got to do that today.
Well, and just a little ideal of that is just what I said: sliding, knowing when to slide, when not to, pitching the ball before you get to. Don't wait too late, because then you're potentially a tip, you're potentially an off target on your pitch. Look, you know the defensive end is barreling down on you. Don't try to hold that ball until the last second. Pitch the ball.
Don't try to complicate it.
Just
keep
be
it simple.
simple.
And that goes on Marcus Satterfield too.
Yeah.
That goes on Marcus Satterfield. And while we'll see certain, wide receivers in motion and end arounds and jet sweeps and stuff, Nebraska doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, need those to sustain drives. They don't. What you need most importantly is urgency up front. If you have a push with your offensive line, 2 of the 3 plays, get 5 yards on the ground, allow a big play, assert the dominance on the line in the trenches when nobody in this entire state is expecting you to.
Right.
Do something that's unexpected for once, right? To where, hey, Nebraska, try to assert that mentality of we are better than you today. And so I think Nebraska's just got to figure out a way to keep things simple, not only for Heinrich Haarberg, but also they just don't have the skill position athletes that Michigan does. Right. They're going to have to play this grind it out, slow it down, chew the clock type of game, which actually probably fits into Nebraska's playbook better, maybe than Michigan.
Love the way you said that. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well.
Yeah. So once again, 402-464-5685. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here in just a few minutes. This segment with Nick Sandert, Eric Strickland, sponsored by Select Plumbing, now servicing Seward and Milford, in addition to Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area. For any plumbing issues, call Select Plumbing at 402-542-5319. Once again, if you're just now joining us or missed the news, Nebraska will be without star linebacker Luke Reimer and freshman standout Cam Lenhart today against the Wolverines. So 2 big losses to this Nebraska defense. Another day where maybe Magai Bayer will have to step up, where you need something from Ty Robinson. We talk about that urgency on the offensive line. Same can be said for the defensive line. You're not going to get 8 sacks and 11 tackles for loss like you did against Colorado a couple weeks ago, against Michigan today, but you can get a fraction of that. You can still get to J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy threw 3 INTs against Bowling Green's defense. Now, there were some other intricacies within that, but force some turnovers and take the ball away here today and keep the energy in the stadium.
There it is. That's the recipe.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the
pressure.
recipe.
Even if you don't sack him,
yes,
apply pressure.
Yes. Yeah, you
Because-
can't let them sit back there and just pick you apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
So once again, all right, Strick, give me a prediction, and we'll go ahead and get out of here.
I'm going 24-10.
Hey, great minds think alike. And here's what I would say. I see this being pretty close. I see this being a 13 or not 13. It'd be a 10-7 ball game, maybe a 10-3 ball game, a 10-0 ball game at the half where Nebraska's firmly in it. And then I see by the end of the third quarter into the fourth, Michigan just being able to churn away yards with Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. So once again, this segment, Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland, sponsored by Select Plumbing. Give them a call today, 402-542-5319. If you're in Seward, Milford, Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area here in the beautiful state of Nebraska. It's a warm day here in Lincoln. 94 degrees is the high today. Aaron Davis and Chris Raff is coming up next. For Eric Strickland, I'm Nick Sainert. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
Oh, I dropped the mouse. Let's just go Big Red. We're out of here.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Found in most local grocery stores.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Sponsored by Jimmy John's.
Welcome back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, where AD and Chris Raff are both struggling with their headphones to figure those out.
It's our first time on radio. We're a little nervous right now.
Gotta be smarter than the headphones, gentlemen. This segment brought to you by Jimmy John's. Earn a free Jimmy John's sandwich after your first order when you sign up for Freaky Fast Rewards. Start now at jimmyjohns.com or inside the app. Gentlemen, how we feeling? How we doing? AD's back in town from Portland, Maine.
It feels good to be back. I was in Portland, Maine. I was in Charlotte. I was in Alabama, but back in town. Ralph, Michigan. Rico, Michigan.
I was feeling really, really good. And then Rico kind of rained on my parade a little bit.
I didn't rain on your parade. I gave you information.
That information is information that I did not want to hear.
Well, you would have figured it out at some point.
I know.
That information, ladies and gentlemen, which I'm sure you heard in the last segment, Luke Reimer and Cam Lenhart, the senior linebacker and the freshman rush end, both out for this game. Everyone else is back.
All right, time to step up. Next man up.
Those two out, which means you'll see a lot of Nick Henrich. You'll see a lot of Mekhi Bayer. You'll see some, you've got Ty Robinson on the edge, maybe some Riley Van Poppel out there on the edge.
RVP.
Maybe, they got those jack linebackers. Maybe one of them slides down a little bit. Maybe a little Chief Borders.
Yeah.
Your football knowledge is impeccable.
Yeah, it is.
I'm literally just naming people.
But you're
the way
naming
your
them good.
name and the positions and what you step down to. I mean, that's.
They could step down. I doubt it. I doubt they step down. I think they'll stay at that jack linebacker position. But
I think you got to make them one-dimensional. So you got to shut the.
I mean, Blaze Gunnerson, who was a linebacker when he first got here and bulked up.
Those are Michigan fans, AD. We don't wave at them.
Yeah, I do.
I
wave
don't
at
care.
them.
I don't care if they're kids or not. Those are Michigan fans. We don't wave at them. We do not wave at
You
them.
get a little Blaze Gunnarsson, Nash Hutmacher,
Yeah.
and Ty Robinson. That'll be probably your starting three up front. But speaking of Michigan fans, I keep seeing a lot of Michigan-Nebraska couples out here. What is happening?
There's a lot of them.
1997.
They just keep holding hands. I'm like, that's wrong. Don't do that.
It was 97, I think, started it all.
Ridiculous.
I'm going to ask you guys both this. Keys to the game. Rico, Rav. Mine, I'm gonna say mine right away. Don't turn over the ball.
Oh, no. The Hall of Famer.
You cannot turn
The
over the ball.
Nebraska Hall of Famer.
We got Amon Green.
Number 30.
Come on.
Amon
Give him your mic.
We got Amon Green
Give him
on it
your
right
mic.
now.
Raph, give your mic to AD. Raph,
Okay.
you take that mic.
And Amon is my daughter's actually. She's an
Here,
instructor.
Yeah.
The show.
AD or Raph,
So, yeah.
you scoot
Yeah.
over.
Am I sliding?
Yeah, you
Are we
go to
going
that.
right?
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that.
We got Amon
So much
Green.
easier.
We got Amon Green coming
Yeah,
in.
slide in. Come on, man.
When
When
you have a Hall of Famer come in, you make room for the Hall of Famer. You make
1,
room.
2. Oh, yeah, I'm
Lights on
back
now.
on.
Oh yeah.
You always
got
make room for number 30.
Yeah, you make room.
But if you
for-
don't make room for number 30, oh, he's coming through you.
Oh yeah.
no, or around you.
I'll make my own room if I have.
Yeah, he's
he
got to
does.
make his own room.
He does what he does.
In Green Bay, it was labeled BYOB. Bring your own blocker. That was with Sylvester Crooms with my running back coach, and he said that in practice one day, or we were watching film.
Yeah.
He said BY. He kept saying BYOB, and I'm like, I know it's bring your own, but I'm like, what's the B, coach?
What's the other B?
It's like blocker. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I was like, yeah, you got to do that sometimes.
You're like, you want me to
back.
bring that to practice?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember, I think it was Kansas State, maybe 97 Kansas State. And you ran, you trucked somebody over right by the sidelines.
Amon ran.
Oh,
He ran a lot of people over.
Well, I had to do that. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
it was,
right.
it was
Yeah,
truck
he's
stick.
right.
But about you, though, I mean, you could make a move and go 80, or you were going to run someone over and go 80.
Yeah, and
Done that too.
and AD knows, between myself and the coaching staff we had, Coach Solich, though, he drove this home very prevalently.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, it took one time. We're in I think it was my first spring ball practice. No, it was first training camp practices. And we film review after practice. And we had one of the guys, he was a younger guy like me, but he was on practice squad mostly. And he ran out of bounds without hitting nobody. Coach Solich. And this is my freshman year, so I hadn't really seen him, so many meetings. I hadn't seen him turn red and get into a guy for messing up or whatever. And now this was one of the first times, and I saw the guy ran out. Basically, he walked out of bounds.
Yeah.
Without hitting no. And Coach Solich stood up. And, he's not real tall.
No.
Stood up and he said, "Don't you ever in your life, as a running back here at Nebraska, run out of bounds without hitting nobody."
That's right.
I was like,
that's right.
I just clicked it. Took a noted. Hit people before I run out of bounds.
Got it. Check
Noted.
that off the box.
You know what, Amon? That's how we were taught. We played the game that way.
Yeah.
You never ran out of bounds unless somebody hit you out of bounds. Today's game. Okay.
Yeah.
AG, and I'm going to ask you this, Rico. I'm going to ask you as well, Rav. What are the keys?
Today's game, I say the biggest thing is one, you know the situation. 2-2, 4-0, well-coached team. The coach has been back for 2 weeks now. He gave a suspension for 3 games. And we already know, the obvious. It's a physical team, period.
Yeah.
And so with football, if I'm in that locker room coaching, even if I'm a player, I'm like, regardless of what our game plan is, we got to throw the first punch.
Yeah.
Because this is how Michigan plays ball.
Yeah.
They got a tight end set, double tight, 12 personnel, all game mostly. So the defensive player, you don't have to think much.
Right.
They're basically going to try to force, like we did, force-fed you to run.
This is what's going to happen.
Along with play action, because J.J. McCarthy can, throw the ball and he's accurate. So when you have Corum, I'm not sure the other running back if he's playing or if he's healthy, but knowing Corum coming back from the knee injury, he hasn't lost the pace. He's young, so injury, he can heal up fast, get back out there, and now he's back to his, his production. So one is just going to have to be physical, just like they are, and kind of match that mentality of that, because football after that, then as we know, once you become physical first couple plays, then you kind of set the tone for the rest of the game and the team. And then so if you're more physical, you can out physical the other team, which that was our philosophy. Then you got a better shot because you already know that's going to be part of the game. And then everything else would just fall in place. Then knowing, okay, third down, they're going to do this.
Right.
Second down, they're going to do this. Or, on offense, third down, they're going to send the blitz or whatever. That's when you start getting into X and O. But at the first start of this game right here, being Harbaugh as a coach, and our whole rule is like, hey, we just let's just swing for the fences first, play on defense. Let's send a message, offensive or defense, where we get the ball and let this team know we're going to be in for a fight. We know we're not the favor. But at least give y'all a game that y'all, when they walk out of this stadium, they're going to be like, all right, that was a game we earned. They didn't just walk in here and get a dub. That we earned this game from Nebraska, regardless what the score is. Give it to them physically and then play, didn't do your X and O. Coaches do their job to make sure that every player is in the right position to win offensively and defensively.
Amon and Rav and Rico, I'm going to kind of cut you guys both on the spot. Who are you starting quarterback?
Oh, we already know.
Pete Thamel already announced it
We
3
know.
hours ago.
He already announced it. He already announced it.
It's Heinrich.
It's Heinrich again. Okay.
What do you do, Amon? If you're Heinrich Harburg and you are Coach Rule, Rav, Amon, Rico, I'm asking you all the guys this. What are you doing? What's your game plan?
If I'm Heinrich Harburg right now, the moment's not too big for you. This is your chance probably to take the starting quarterback reins at the University of Nebraska if you play well. So just stay within yourself. Don't try to force anything. And, let it play out. Keep on being tough in the running game the way he has been. Play his game. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Be Heinrich Harburg and you'll be fine.
Exactly. Look, it doesn't matter that you've played Northern Illinois and
La Tech.
Louisiana Tech. You won those games by playing your game, as Raf just said. You're running the ball, whether it's traditional, whether it's with the quarterback. You need to keep doing that because, again, as I've said multiple times, this Michigan defense is faster than the defenses you faced before.
And physical.
It's gonna and a lot more physical. It's going to be hard for you to get those runs to the outside, but you're still going to have to try that. You've been successful so far in those 2 games, and you've had some success in the running game in the first 2 games that you lost, regardless. Running the quarterback. You need to stay with that. You can't go out there with Heinrich Harburg and say, okay, today we're throwing the ball 45 times. You can't do that.
Won't work.
Right.
You haven't thrown it a lot. He doesn't have any interception. He almost had an interception against Northern Illinois if the defender didn't drop it. It was right into his hands.
Right.
But you can't go out there and start slinging the rock thinking you're going to win. You have to do what you have been doing that you've seen success with. So don't go out there and start throwing the ball. You do need to throw the ball a little bit more than you have to have some sort of success, but don't try and have 12 deep shots this game and all of a sudden think your receivers are going to do something they haven't done in the first 4 games. Use your tight ends, use your running backs out of the backfield, hand it off to your running backs, and more importantly, if you're going to run an option, Heinrich, at least, I don't know, twice, maybe pitch the ball. I don't know. That's just a thought.
I love it. I agree with both of y'all said.
Amon, what do you say?
I'm agreeing with both what Rico. I'm blanking.
Not one guy.
Raph.
I'm joking.
Believe what Raph and Rico said. So add that up with also, like what Rico just mentioned, when he's running the ball, think about pitching it. Force that emo, as we call in man on the line. Force that emo to make a decision to either tackle him so he can pitch it, because then he's coming to the quarterback. And then he did his job, pitch it away. And then also when he does run, because he's going to run, protect yourself. You kind of, as a running back, we were running backs, me and Rico. He's running, he's a quarterback.
He has you in the same classes. I like this.
I wasn't running back.
He was. But he's running a little too high.
Yeah.
And like I said, this defense is physical.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want to get him broken half.
Yeah.
All right. They'll split him right down the middle. Don't want that. Because right now, y'all probably know more than me. I've been on the road, but Jeff Sims, I know he's still healing up, right?
He says he's not 100%. There's still a couple of things that he can't do, and that I feel like part of that includes cutting.
Right. Well, high ankle sprain, correct?
They never really said. Okay. They just said it was his ankle.
Well, no matter what it is, obviously we can't put the whole eggs in the basket for having him coming off the bench or anybody coming off the bench once you have Heinrich, in the game and not, like I say, not taking a big hit. Pitch the ball. If you do run it, drop that shoulder, for protection, not for running somebody over. It's a difference. It's 2 ways you could drop a shoulder. I know this because just one, you're protecting yourself, and then 2 is obviously gaining yards. But in this situation for him, it's like, get down, because we got guys on that deep, or we got guys that we're facing. I was just talking to a friend walking in, Chris Jenkins, Pro Bowl defensive line player for Carolina Panthers, Super Bowl. His nephew is 3 technique on Big Blue's defensive line. You know, and I played with his uncle in Green Bay, Cullen Jenkins. So when you got an uncle and a dad, that both were hellacious defensive tackles.
There might be a little bit 3 technique. They know something.
Okay, they know how to hit things. So as a coach, I'm telling Heinrich, hey, I love the physical, but let's go down a little bit. This is how you drop your shoulder, protect them ribs, and then this is how we're gonna work on that end game with the emo, get that ball out pitching and get used to that too, because that's part of the option offense. If you're running it, these are all the facets of ways you could be successful in running it. And you hit every part, along with not just you keeping the ball and running it. Just give that defense something to think about. Now they know, because that was the problem during our days. Tommy, those quarterbacks, they knew when to pitch it and then keep it. And then it was a dual issue when you have to deal with the quarterback and the running back.
Let me ask you guys this: special teams. How big will special teams be in this game? You guys go. Special teams.
It's going to be extremely important, because again, this is going to be the best defense that Nebraska's faced all season. Probably the best defense that they face all season.
Enrico, I'm going to say this, and Amon and Raph, I'm going to say this, because special teams, you think about this: Minnesota, Colorado, Northern Illinois, La Tech. We're going to see the most talented team we've seen so far. So I'm putting it out there. Rico, go ahead.
So I'm saying this is going to be the best defense that you have faced this season and probably face all season. So your special teams are going to be extremely important. Whether you're punting the ball, whether you're trying to get a field goal, extra point, you're going to have to be all your T's need to be crossed, all your I's need to be dotted. Because if you're going to punt and they're going to send some people at you, because I bet they will at some point, you're going to need to get that ball off. Because if you give them any type of momentum, it's all downhill from there.
Absolutely.
So if Brian Boomshini can play like he did in the first 2 games. Well, in the first game, he was kind of off against Colorado. He kicked like he should be kicking. Then that'll give Nebraska an advantage in terms of field position. And if they can figure out what exactly is going on with Tristan Alfano, hopefully it's not anything serious or anything, in his mind. But he's 1 for 4 on field goals this season so far. That's the guy that hit a 50-plus yarder in the state championship game. It's a different kind of pressure, but that's still a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. It's new pressure. He has
and he's shown that he can handle that kind of pressure a little bit. So if you can figure out that, then you won't have as much. You won't be as pressured to make something happen on a second or a third down when you're just outside or just inside of field goal range, because you know that you have a kicker that can make those kicks. Because once you're pressing in those instances, that's when you make mistakes. And that's when Michigan will capitalize and you'll be in a lot of trouble.
Love it. AG, what do you think? Special teams?
Special teams, it's a huge, it's a third of the game. And that was something that, for us too, that was always a factor to make sure the guys between punt returners catching the ball, kickoff returners doing their job. But for every player and for the teams out here, that'll be, a benefit to either defensively, stop them, keep them in the red zone, or keep them coming out of the red zone where they got to punt, and then you can play the field position game. That's something you got to do. But you just know that Harbaugh, his brother, big facets of special teamers. He was his brother John was a special teams coach for most of his career before he became a head coach, and so he was high emphasis on that. So his brother's gonna probably that defense or that special team is no different, So they're gonna be real strict. I say well coached up in terms of coverage, in terms of kicking the ball and placing it and stuff like that. So just making sure when you're catching the ball, when you're fielding the ball, you're doing, giving them nothing else. If in the bigger stretch of things of the game, try to give them no other gifts out there on offense, defense, or even special teams. So when you punt, make sure you get the coverage down there on time and everybody's in the lanes. Have that lane discipline, because as we know, good returners will find it and hit it and then exploit you. So just do that. And then when you're fielding the ball, when you're fielding the kickoff, that stuff is just verbatim. It's just like breathing. Catch the ball, return it, hold on to the rock, stuff like that. Give them nothing out there, because we already know we got to deal with offense and their defense. Don't give them no extra bonuses.
Yeah, no, I echo everything you guys have said. Coach Bush in early break this week, he talked about Brian Buschini plays a huge role in this game, that he's able to hit the dagger punt, pin them deep, and he's also got it in his arsenal where he can kick it deep. Flipping the field is huge in this game. Another thing I'll go to is our return game. We've talked a bunch about how great their defense is. Well, a big return out of Billy Kemp, that's huge to spark Nebraska.
Yeah.
So a big return would be great for Nebraska today. I think Nebraska, all Nebraska really needs is just something, just to spark a turnover on defense, a big special teams play, something just to let them know and to let Michigan know, that Nebraska's there to play.
I'm going to ask you guys just before we go to break. Rico.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Amon, Raph.
Time.
O-line play. And I'm going to ask you guys this because I want you to explain them. And Amon in particular, being a running back and understanding the importance of an offensive line.
Yeah.
There's been some questions, et cetera. Of course, against Northern Illinois, decent. La Tech, decent. But let's be honest, fellas. This is a game to where they're going to see players they haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan is a different beast.
And they're built different.
They're exactly, Amon. They're built different. What is going to be the keys for the O-line? Rico, go ahead.
Taking that first shot. Get it, as Amon said earlier, you need to punch first. You need to get in there, and if you're going to try to establish yourself as a running team in this one, if you're going to try and establish either the quarterback run or the traditional run game, you're going to have to hit these defensive linemen, hit them hard, and make them know that you're there. You're going to have to, as DP says, lean on them.
Yes.
Lean on them. Make them work for every single move that they want to make on you to get around you. Make them work for it. Don't hold them, but you got to get in the way, make them work, and try to tire them out. Make sure that test Michigan's depth. Get these guys going.
Good point.
Get these guys going.
Test their depth.
Just start leaning on them, pushing them back. No dirty late shots. But remember, Cam Jurgens against Oklahoma. It was whatever that run play just kept going to the echo of the whistle.
Right.
That's what you want.
Right.
The echo of the whistle. Nothing dirty, nothing cheap, but just right on the edge, right there. That's what this offensive line is going to have to do and establish themselves early.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Raph next because I want him on last. Raph, O-line, we have not seen a defensive line work like we're going to see here in about an hour. What's the keys?
For me, the key is this. I know I'm sitting next to Mr. Amon Green, averaging 7 yards a carry and stuff like that. But for Nebraska,
he's a beast.
For Nebraska,
only a 7.
Right. Oh, yeah, only 7, 7.2, whatever, whatever.
I would have gone 8.5.
8.5, Orange Bowl, 10, 13,
No
whatever.
big deal.
But at the end of the day, 3 yards a carry is not a bad thing for Nebraska today.
Right.
3 yards a carry is not a bad thing. So if you 1st and 10, you gain 3 yards, go back to the run again. If you can get it down to third and 4, 3rd and 3, at least it makes Nebraska where we're not predictable. Sometimes I feel like Nebraska gains 3 yards on 1st down and they feel like they have to pass the ball.
Yeah.
And that sets up well for the defense. Be unpredictable. Get your 3 yards. If you can get 3 yards again on 2nd down, get that 3 yards. So then when you go to 3rd down, we're not sitting at, when you're sitting at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, everybody in the stadium, the state, the world knows Nebraska's throwing the ball. And we've shown that we haven't been super successful throwing the ball this year. So get it down to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, where you can make it manageable. If you throw the ball, find your tight end. It's going to be open. Tight end's always open.
I'll say Heinrich and Fedoni are roommates.
Yep,
So
you got a connection.
You always hear that about quarterback and whoever's catching the ball, that type of connection. They're roommates. They played, summer ball together growing up. So
they get it. Amon, Seattle, obviously the glorious career in Green Bay, you had a lot of different offensive lines. And I think today in particular, when you're facing a team like Michigan, you're facing a defensive front that is tough.
Yeah.
As a running back, what are you looking for?
I'm just looking for a crease. When we faced tough defensive line, I'll say in Green Bay, that's what you referenced there. My lineman and I, we most of the week we had meetings during the week.
Yeah.
And my 2nd, 3rd year there, 02-03 season, we got Edgar Bennett on the coaching staff, and he brought the linemen we brought us, the running backs, to the lineman room. And that kind of just changed the game for myself, because then I'm actually talking with the guys that I knew that I'm working with already. And we had a lot of nonverbal prior to that. But now we have the verbal.
Right.
We're meeting in meetings every day. We're going on blitz pickup checks, pass checks, run checks. You know, what I see when I see my lineman has a flat back and what I'm going to do. And I'm telling them what I'm going to do if I see a flat back or if I see your hips turn and you're blocking, you're pushing the guy outside. And I'm just like, I'm going to react like this. So now they know, you know, and the linemen are comfortable now. They're like, oh, man, now I know when I got my back like this, AG's going to go here. If I got my back turned here or my hips here and I'm pushing the guy this way, he's going to turn there. And off Ref said, getting those plays, just getting 3 yards, that's okay.
Right.
You know, because linemen, they're just like, they're motivated just like all of us. They want to, like, I remember Aaron Taylor yelling in my face my freshman year when I first got in. We're going to score a touchdown. And we're on a 60-yard, we're on a 50-yard line. I'm like, next play, I'm like, okay, I guess it's going to be a 70-yard run. Very high expectations. But yeah, like Ref said, 3 yards is okay.
Yes.
Because you're dealing with I want to say everybody, but I know Chris Jenkins.
Yeah.
He's an all Big Ten D tackle. And that's
Right.
first starter. So right there, it's like, don't feel like you're gonna win every play against these guys. These are good, good players, talented wise, physically talented guys. But on top of that, really good coaching. So when you get your win, if you got 2 yards, get it. And then hopefully from a coordinator standpoint, like also agree with Raf in terms of making sure you find those plays. Don't just go to the verbatim thing because on film it's been known. If we know what they're doing after a run, what you think Harbaugh and his coaching staff up in Ann Arbor already know.
Yeah.
So switch it up, do something different. But obviously, don't go beyond, don't go out your range, your comfort zone. But yes, try to mix it up because that's the biggest thing that I would say any team when you're facing a situation like our Huskers are today. If anything, offensively, make that defense not feel comfortable.
Right.
Do certain things that they normally hadn't seen on film. You might have to do that early in the game to get back to your the stuff you like to run.
Right.
Don't let the defense say, okay, I'm comfortable just sitting in this cover 2 zone.
Just hanging out.
I'm going to just hang out in this because we know what they're going to do. So we're going to have the flats covered and we're going to have the middle covered because they want to go to the tight end.
Yep.
All right.
I'm going to ask you guys all this before we go to break.
I was going to ask you guys since we're right up against the break.
Yes.
I want to get your guys' final thoughts, your predictions, anything else that you wanted to add, mostly because you just keep asking questions. You're not answering any questions.
I know. You know what? I'm trying
I like that you picked that up, Rico.
He's been working all week mediating. That's what he does.
You know what? I like listening to these guys. I like to be seen but not spoken. And I'm going to say this, and Rico, to you guys, on the defensive point, we haven't talked about that a lot. Defensively, so we'll say defense real fast and expectation. I'm not going to say mine. Defense, 1 turnover. We need 1. We need 1. It'd be great to get 1 turnover on the defense standpoint. You guys, if we don't turn over the ball, I like our chances. But we cannot be we cannot be Santa Claus today.
Nope.
No, we can't get
no gifts.
We cannot.
No gifts.
We cannot be gifts.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say with that. 1 defensive turnover. I would love it if we get 1. We can't be Santa Claus on offense. I'm on. AG, go.
I'm agree. Try to get 1 turnover on defense, and then offensively, try to. I say keep consistency throughout the first half and then throughout the game because we know they're going to come out because they are coached. And like I said, I already talked about their athletic ability is there. So they're going to last for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the scoreboard is, keep playing.
Yeah.
These is one of them type of games I coached before. I coached high school football and coach esports now.
Yes.
And in esports, you don't really have to reference it, but every now and then
Still
I try
the same
to.
though, bro.
Don't look at the scoreboard. I don't care what the scoreboard is right now.
Right.
We know we ain't dumb.
Yep.
Right.
They're a good team. We're getting there.
Right.
Don't look at that scoreboard. I want to see effort.
Yep.
For 4 quarters of that football because that is basically it is the foundation of Nebraska football. It's 4 quarters of football.
Yep.
Right.
And then creating maybe a turnover, maybe a big offensive explosive play somewhere down the stretch. But at the end of the day, effort for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Do that, and then you feel better about yourself as a coach and as a player at the end of the game. Right.
Raph, what you think?
I say if you can, try to make them one-dimensional. And I think that not only is the defense, I think that plays into the crowd. Get some false starts. Put them at 1st and 15.
Yeah.
Put them where they're one-dimensional, where they have to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You make a team one-dimensional, it's so much easier. So much easier.
It is.
So, and the crowd hasn't, I was thinking about this the other day.
Just thinking that crowd, please get loud.
Crowd,
today.
get loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get some
If y'all
false
listening to us
starts
right now, get loud in the stadium. I'm gonna be out there screaming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have no voice on Monday. Let's get it. I'm doing it for my Huskers though. I'm doing it for my Huskers.
Get loud.
I've said this all week.
Rico, what do you think, man?
I've said this all week. You need to take a chance.
Yeah.
This is a game that nobody's giving you a chance in.
Exactly.
So what you need to do on the defensive side, you got to jump routes. You might give up a big play. You got to jump these routes. You got to get a pick. You got to third person to the ball, second person to the ball, punch at the ball. If maybe they break a tackle, but guess what? You've been gang tackling so good all season that I have faith that there's going to be 11 hats to the ball.
Yeah.
That third person punch at the ball, try and force a fumble. You have to take chances in a game like this. It's the number 2 team in the nation. You're sitting at 2-2.
Yep.
You haven't had a winning season in how many years?
Nothing to lose.
Do you know how
2017.
crazy it would be to get this win and how much momentum you would gain?
Yeah.
Take a chance. Because guess what? If you lose, you lose. You've been doing it for 5 years.
But go out with nothing left in the barrel.
Exactly.
Nothing left in the
Take
barrel.
all your shots.
Yep.
Folks, this was Rico.
The A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate.
Amon
pregame show.
Green, Hall of Famer, Nebraska and Green Bay Packers, Raph and myself, getting some input. Folks, scream loud, scream a lot.
Have no voice on Monday.
Yeah,
Bring it.
Exactly. Have no voice tomorrow at all whatsoever. But stay tuned to us, 9.7 The Ticket. We'll be giving you coverage all game long. Get the post game as well.
Jay
Hall of Famer
Foreman.
Jay Foreman, and Nick will be with you as well. Folks, thanks for sticking with us. We'll be right back.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
This is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. With over 20 years in the industry, I have found it's extremely gratifying to solve my customers' home financing needs and then show them the options and strategies available for them to fulfill their goals. But my biggest reward comes when I watch my valued customers experience the American dream of home ownership and move into their new home. Talk with me about your home loan at Lincoln Federal and Go Big Red. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Personal banking like you remember.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health.
South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
if you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits.
We're back here, the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, rolling into our, what would this be, 2.5 hours of pregame coverage right now. Another hour to go here before Huskers and Wolverines. This segment brought to you by Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits. Load up on all your tailgate necessities for beer, spirits, and wine at Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, just north of 27th and Superior here in Lincoln. I'm Austin. He's Rico. We are really only together when we're crossing over.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Or special events. We were on pregame together for spring game.
Oh, that's true. I think we make.
But we can count it on one hand the number of times we've been alone in the room together.
Yes. I filled in for Strick a couple times. You've done happy hour for Nick a couple times. We've worked. We're up to double digits. Look, we're here. We're here.
We are. It's true.
We're the best.
Okay, so we were giving Nick crap about Marcus Freeman not being able to count to 11 earlier in the week, right? So we had an inverse Marcus Freeman happen in Lexington.
Oh no.
Florida has 13 players on the field for a first and goal in the third quarter and still can't stop Kentucky from running the ball in for a touchdown.
Yo, Kentucky is moving right now. I thought
they're wagging.
Florida was supposed to be pretty decent this year, but I think they forgot who their quarterback was.
Why do you go get Graham Mertz?
Great question. No idea.
Why would that be a thought that crosses anybody's mind from his senior year of high school on?
Start him confidently and be like, yeah, this is our starter.
This is him.
This is the guy. This is the guy that's going to lead us to the SEC East title. He's
the answer to beating Georgia. He's the missing link.
That's it. I saw him. It was like a broken play where he ran for like a first down. It was like 6 yards. He ran for a first down, and
Billy Napier like, yes.
Though the commentators were
that's
like,
why.
They're like, you see this aspect of Graham Mertz. He wasn't able to do this up in Wisconsin, and this is the reason Florida went and got him. I go, just that. 6 yards?
No other reason.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's the guy. Got it, Florida. Good job, Gators.
Who is your most hated SEC team?
Most hated SEC team.
Text line, let us know too. 402-464-5685.
I don't think I really have one. Not Texas A&M. That's a lie. It's A&M.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. A&M just annoys me. I don't know if I hate them.
Mhm.
I mean, they had the Jaworski Lane years where he just ran over Nebraska. The Ben Cotton game sticks out.
I guess it's hard for me because I love Texas A&M track. Like, they always have just amazing athletes.
I was kind of rooting for their baseball team too when Childress was there.
A little bit. I don't think I have a hated SEC team, actually. Like, I hate Alabama football, but it's also fun to watch them when they're successful. I don't think I have a team in the SEC that I hate.
Right, like I was tired of Bama back in the day, but I never hated them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're good. Cool. Congratulations. Someone take him down.
Yeah, good for you.
Never forget when Nebraska beat Georgia in a bowl game.
Yeah.
And Nebraska beat Clemson in a bowl game in actual postseason. That
Nebraska
happened.
beat Dabo Swinney.
Is it weird to say that the SEC team that I probably despise the most is Florida?
No, not weird.
Like, I wasn't around for the 95 season, 96 championship game, but Florida basketball has just always not sat right with me.
You're going basketball take.
And, like, even Florida, like, again, I was young when Tebow was doing his thing, but there's been nothing just appealing about Florida to me.
I don't know. I don't feel that. I like Florida a little bit.
Who's your most hated Big Ten team then?
Oh, I was gonna say it's easy, and now I can't even think of who it was. Like, I obviously don't like Iowa,
But are they your most hated?
No, they're actually not. I think it might be, and this is like,
is this gonna be weird?
I don't know.
Are you coming out of left field on this
I don't
one?
know if it's weird or anything.
Coming out of lane 8, I guess.
It's
in
one
terms
of the
you
East,
understand.
It's one of the East teams that I can't think of who it is.
Let's just run down.
Because it's not Ohio State and it's not Penn State.
Michigan.
It's not
Michigan State.
I don't mind Michigan.
Yeah, and you're down to Rutgers, Indiana, and Maryland.
I think it was Indiana for like
Why
no,
Indiana?
No reason. Except
Why
for, like,
Indiana?
I love their stadium and it looks really cool, but I just
Indiana football. Just make you mad.
Just Indiana. It's a weird. I don't know. It's just weird.
Let's start.
Like, I like all the team. Like, I like all the teams in the West. All of them. I think Minnesota has the best color scheme.
No, it's disgusting.
I love
Gross.
that maroon and gold.
It's better in small doses. Like volleyball, I can handle it.
It works for me.
Basketball and football, there's just too much maroon, too much gold.
It works for me. Them and Maryland. Love it. I love Maryland incorporating the state flag into everything.
Oh my gosh.
Big fan.
Those helmets are all-timers. I'm going to leave it up to you to say positive or negative.
The best helmets that they've had are the like off red with the script
terps. Yes,
those are the best helmets they've had.
Correct. I have nothing against Maryland because I'm a big Frank Reich guy. Maryland basketball though, with Diamond Stone, Mello Trimble.
Oh, Mello Trimble was that dude.
I remember when Nebraska had them on the ropes. I was walking home from something at Wesleyan, and then Nebraska pooped it away. It was very sad. Say something nice about Michigan, either the football team or the state.
Say something nice about Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I said this to some Michigan fans walking by. Love the Jordan logo. It's not about Michigan, but you have a Jordan logo.
Say something rude about Michigan. Say something mean. Something you don't like.
It's Michigan. It's just
that. It's just Michigan.
It's the Wolverines. There's something about them that honestly, the helmets make no sense. I hate them.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the helmets for a second.
Don't like everybody's.
They're called winged helmets.
They're like
Wolverines don't have wings.
The Michigan helmets are. It's an iconic helmet. I don't get it.
Okay,
you know who else? You know who else wears that helmet? Delaware.
Got him.
And it's the same color scheme.
Is Joe Flacco better than any quarterback produced by Michigan? The answer is yes.
What quarterbacks is Michigan like? And that I feel like that's a dumb question.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, you're right.
But give me Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's elite. Tom Brady was
fighting blue hens.
Tom Brady was never referenced as elite. You know, GOAT, all-time Hall of Famer, but never elite.
No.
Just saying.
Michigan is a state that I feel like I should have visited by now, but never have.
The Mitten State.
Like Lake Michigan is there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're going to the Mitten or the Yoop, Upper Peninsula.
Shout out to Detroit.
I've been in Detroit in the airport.
Okay.
I have not actually set foot in Michigan proper. I suppose.
I don't think I've ever been in Michigan, whether flying through or not. I've been in Milwaukee, which is not Michigan.
Correct.
But that's as close to Michigan as I've been to Chicago, which again
also very close, but not.
Never been in Michigan though.
Text line again. Let us know. Comment section, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Do you have any positive or negative Michigan stories? Like, tell us about this mythical land of Michigan.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of you have negative Michigan stories, and I would love to hear them. I want to hear, but not just like Michigan. I want to hear like if you went to the Big House, if you went to whatever their basketball arena,
Chrysler Center.
Chrysler Center, if you've been to anywhere for a sporting event, I want to hear the good and the bad about those.
Let's kind of just walk back through series history. Nebraska and Michigan in the Big Ten. First game was a very rude greeting.
Yeah.
Nebraska goes to the Big House and gets trampled.
How dare
just run over.
How dare
by a good Michigan team, not a Michigan team at this level.
Terrible welcome wagon.
I know. Some host. Nebraska's actually had a little bit of success against Michigan in the late Bo, early Big Ten years, though. Got to win at the Big House, got to win here in Lincoln. Kind of sleepy games that no one really remembers, but Nebraska shut down Denard Robinson in one of those games. Who was the quarterback that wore 88? Devin Gardner.
Yes.
Devin Gardner.
Still
bizarre.
Not mad at it.
No, I am mad at it.
Nah, you're not mad at it.
I am legitimately mad at it.
Cool.
Like the winged helmets for you not liking them is my Devin Gardner wearing 88.
You're 88 taking snaps.
Yes.
And not like unironically like Wildcat, like this is the quarterback.
Correct.
Okay.
Since then, it's been a lot more slanted to Michigan. They took a few years off where they didn't play each other. Michigan got good. Nebraska got less good.
Got bad. They got bad.
But 32-29 sticks in your brain because it has to, right? I don't think that Michigan team was as good as this team was supposed to be, but I think that Michigan team was playing better than this Michigan team is.
Oh,
I've said that all week, that for Michigan coming in with legitimate national title hopes, maybe it's a year of more parity in college football where Georgia, with everything they lost, they take a step back. Maybe it's just the internal strife with the Harbaugh suspension, other coaches being suspended. Maybe Michigan will find its groove. I expected them to look better. So I'm not saying I'm predicting 32-29 or a game in that realm. I'm just saying Michigan has looked a lot more vulnerable than I thought.
That Michigan team had the #1 overall draft pick in Nathan Hutchinson. This team does not have that.
Don't disregard Kwity Paye either.
I'm not going to disregard him, but I'm
My
just
boy,
saying,
Kwity Paye.
they had the #1 overall draft pick in Nathan Hutchinson.
No, because Trayvon Walker went #1. Hutchinson went 2 to Detroit.
Number two overall, whatever. Whatever. Trayvon Walker should have gotten #1. But they had that. And this team has very talented players on the defensive and the offensive end, but they don't have anybody to that level. That team was, I don't know if it was more talented than this team. And as you said, was playing better at the moment than this Michigan team is. Now you could say, well, they haven't allowed double digits. They've scored over 30 points in every game. Yeah, but, and I kind of contradicting myself from earlier in the week, they didn't play anybody. All right. They played Rutgers was their hardest test. And Rutgers is Rutgers. They're still not playing at a high level despite Greg Schiano coming back. It's still a very bad Rutgers team, a bad UNLV team, a bad Bowling Green team that, hey, by the way, picked your quarterback off, who's supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the nation 3 times.
3. They did Tanner Morgan to him.
They have not played a murderer's row or anything of the likes type of schedule so far. This will be, and this isn't a good Nebraska team, the best team that they've faced so far. And it's their first game on the road. This is, in all intents and purposes, is a trap game for Michigan. They're, you could easily say they might be overlooking Nebraska right now. I don't even know who they have next, but they could easily be overlooking Nebraska right now, despite it being on the road, because of how bad Nebraska has been and how they've looked at the beginning of this season. They're starting a redshirt freshman, third-year redshirt freshman at quarterback. They've had a lot of issues passing the ball. Their running game is top 10 in the country, but hey, about 100 of those yards of however much they're averaging come from the quarterback game after game. So if you're Michigan, you're looking at this game and you're looking and you're saying, look, this is still you're trying to tell yourself this is a good Nebraska team. You're doing all that coach speak, trying not to look down on your opponent. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to look at this Nebraska team if you're the number 2 team in the country and say, yeah, this is going to be a legitimate test for us.
So last week, Rutgers, like you mentioned, this week, Nebraska. Then they continue their Big Ten West swing. They go to Minnesota. Then they have Indiana, little brother, bye week. This is an easy-ish stretch for Michigan that I think they can start rounding into form and start looking like the Michigan we thought they were going to be.
How do you if you're this Michigan team with that schedule, how do you round into form? If you were only able to score 30 points against the teams that you faced in the first 3 games, granted, again, you held them under 10, but if you were only able to score 30, 31, 32 points, how do you round into form against teams that you play year after year who know you better than those teams do, although they might be bad, are better than those teams? it's going to be hard for them to round into form and actually get tested when you're facing teams that still aren't good. You don't know what you can do unless you get tested. This might be the first opportunity for that. But again, Nebraska still, regardless of how excited we want to be about this Nebraska team, is not that great. They are good. No. They have a chance to make a bowl game and a chance to finish over 500. Still not a great team.
I can't tell you what Nebraska does at a legitimately high level right now, aside from stop the run.
Quarterback run.
Even that, how much of that is them actually being good at and how much of it is the product of the teams they've played? Like, Louisiana Tech had no idea what to do with it.
Louisiana Tech
Colorado got
night.
fooled. Northern Illinois just got, I don't want to say if they got fooled necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know. But even the pass rush, right? Cam Lenhart out for Nebraska today. Luke Reimer as well has a couple sacks on the year. Big losses for the Huskers. If you look at their Pro Football Focus grade, even though Nebraska was up until last week among the nation's leaders in sacks, their pressure rate isn't that high, like 100th out of 133.
Yeah.
So this is where you can decry the numbers all you want. 14 sacks is still 14 sacks. But if it takes Nebraska so many opportunities to get home, they're not doing it consistently, and they're doing it on plays that matter less. The big plays in this one, to me, Rico, are early.
Mm-hmm.
How does Nebraska set the tone? Do they have to hope Michigan's sleepwalking? Do they come out with a trick play, hit a big play? How does Nebraska set the tone today?
Look, this is a game where you take everything that you have in your playbook and you throw it at the wall. Like, everything in your playbook, every player on your roster is in play today.
Mm-hmm.
If you have some freshmen that haven't played, and I don't think any of the freshmen are hitting that 4-game limit quite yet, but if this is game 3, game 2, game 1 for them, you're playing. You're at some point, you're going to see the field. You need to mix things up. You need to throw everything at this Michigan team to probably have a chance at winning. Yes, you want to keep things simple-ish and stay to what you were able to do and what led you to success against Northern Illinois, against Louisiana Tech. You want to stay with the run game, the quarterback run game. But at the same time, as I said before, not just on defense, but on offense, you need to take a chance. You need to take chances. You need to go deep to somebody I mean this in the nicest way. You need to take a shot deep to somebody who isn't Tommy Hill. He is the only one that you are that you're stepping back, loading your shoulder up, and launching down the field for. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know if you've done that for a Fedoni. I don't know if you've done that for a Marcus Washington, a Billy Kemp, a Malachi Coleman, a Jalen Lloyd, a Jaden Doss, any of these, Bryce Williams, Bryce Turner.
Yes.
Williams. That guy plays basketball.
Played basketball. Yeah.
I don't know if any of these very talented, very fast freshmen that you have gotten have had a chance to just, hey, guess what? You're running a 9. What you're doing, you're lining up and you're running past this guy. That's all I want you to do.
You are here, go there.
Exactly. Just run towards the end zone. Turn over your inside shoulder, maybe your outside shoulder. I don't know where Heinrich's going to put it. Look for the ball. I'm going to throw it to you. All right? You need to take these chances. You can't just, and again, as I said, you want to stick to what was working and hand the ball off to Anthony Grant and run with Heinrich Harburg and run an option and do all that. But at the same time, throw something else at Michigan. Throw something they haven't seen because you haven't done at this Wolverines team. Because if you want a chance to beat this team, you're going to have to take chances on offense, on defense, jump a route, punch a ball out, force some turnovers, try to force some turnovers. You're going to give up a big play at some point. It might as well be because you tried to pick a pass off. Why not?
Breaking news out of USC Colorado. Caleb Williams officially has as many touchdowns as incompletions, 6 of each. So that's how things are going for the Buffs and the Trojans.
I know Colorado has 14, I believe.
Let's see.
Last I checked, they had 14.
Let's see. It is 48-21. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
One.
They did.
Look at that.
They're still covering. Your bet might hit.
It should. It better.
It oughta.
Look, USC's defense is bad. USC's offense is real good.
Opposite of bad.
Oregon and Washington look like the best teams in the Pac-12. Which is scary because they're joining the Big Ten next year.
Oh, as is USC and UCLA. Also, people are just doing wheelies right past our window.
That was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, one dude's like full body tatted.
Yep.
Doing wheelies
Shirt
past
off.
our window. Like,
they're feeling it.
Wouldn't do it myself, but I respect it. Okay, you also said something that I want to touch on here in our last few minutes before we turn it over to Bach and Harrison. We don't know where Heinrich's going to throw it.
Nope.
That worries me.
Heinrich doesn't know where Heinrich's going to throw it.
The mechanics, I think, are still a bit of a mess. I think he's a good size for a quarterback, but again, long limbs make it that much harder to have simple mechanics, which you have to do, right? The ball's low, the feet are splayed, they're everywhere. I'm sure some of that is a product of not a great pass blocking line, but even when he does have time, I am still scared by the mechanics. He's going to have the game of his life today to keep Nebraska in it.
Yeah.
And that kind of scares me.
It's going to be a lot of short pass. You're going to have to, in this one, use Fedoni, use Borkature, use whatever other tight ends that you have. Lindenmeyer, I know you have him in there for blocking, but use him as well. It's going to be these short routes by the tight ends and the wide receivers. And that's the thing. Billy Kemp, get him in space, let him go to work. That's exactly what you brought him in for. That's what he's good at. Get him the ball quickly, let him go to work. Marcus Washington has shown some strong hands. So even if it's, if a guy's draped all over him, put it somewhere where only he can get it. Let him use his hands to catch it, not his body, and we'll see what can happen. So it's going to be, the problem is you're going to have to fit it into some tight windows, and that's going to be the problem with Heinrich. I mean, to me, and I could be wrong. This is why he was the backup. He throws a better ball than Jeff Sims does. When Jeff Sims throws it, there was a picture. There's just a still picture. As soon as it came out of his hand, the nose of the ball is pointed down, and then it, tilts up as it goes, which then leads to the ball going up. Don't know how. I don't understand it. Physics is weird, but that's what happens, and that's some of the problems with him is the ball coming out in a weird way, and that's part of the mechanics. But to me, Heinrich throws a better ball than Jeff Sims. It's still not great, but as you said, he's going to have to be on his game in this one. That 65% for the season is going to have to be 65% in this game or better in order for Nebraska to have a chance.
How many passing yards does Nebraska need to make this a game and maybe pull something off?
Depends on the rushing totals. But
let's say Nebraska hits its season average of 200.
Rushing?
Yes. Which, again, I think is an uphill battle. Give them 175, which I still think would be a pretty productive day.
You're going to have over 200 passing. Like 225.
400 yards offense gives them the chance.
400 yards of offense, 2 turnovers, not for you that you forced, 2 turnovers that you gained. And Nebraska's in this game.
I like what you're saying on a lot of that. It's going to take a big play of some sort on offense, and then obviously defense and special teams. Jump around, punch a ball out like you were saying. Which to you is more likely? Nebraska's defense causes multiple turnovers, or there's a defensive or special teams touchdown for the Big Red?
Multiple turnovers. I think that they've been so close multiple times, and they've gotten kind of lucky in a couple games with a lot of drop passes, but a couple of those drops pop up in the air, and Nebraska's just not in the right spot. I mean, and we've said this multiple times for a lot of different games. The coin flip has to land in favor of Nebraska at some point, right?
You would think.
So I'm going to go multiple turnovers. I don't think they take any of them back for a score, but I think that they get a big return on like an interception and get it to a point where they score on that drive.
Take advantage. That's what it comes down to. Make your own luck and then take advantage of your own luck. He's Rico. I'm Austin. This is the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. We're about half an hour or so away from kick between Nebraska and Michigan. We'll take you all the way up to kickoff. Make sure you stay tuned right after the game. As soon as the final gun sounds, Nick and Jay will be on air for post-game coverage, and then we'll be around another hour and a half after that, taking your calls, taking your texts, getting your feelings about how Nebraska and Michigan goes. Once again, I'm Austin. He's Rico. We got more A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show coming up next. Bach will be in. Talk to you in a sec.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space. Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Bure's Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today.
I'm ready.
Burgers?
Check.
Chips?
Check.
Icy cold beer?
Check. Except this one.
I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Fuhrer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Sponsored by Fleet Feet.
Jake Bachman and Austin Overman here in studio for you at 1040 O Street as we lead up to kickoff. About 30 minutes away, Nebraska will be taking on the number 2 team in the country. How special is that? Well, maybe not as special. I think ticket price is about $15 to get in. Not the most sought after ticket in town, but it sure will be. I'm sure that will change if Nebraska gets a victory today. But it's kind of interesting because I always look at that stuff, and I might even just go because $15 might as well just grab it and walk down to the stadium. But it's interesting because I paid about $100 to get into the Minnesota game. Once I got up there, it's crazy the number 2 team in the country in such a great stadium like Memorial Stadium can cost so low. But that's what losses do to you, I suppose.
That's what losses do, and hey, it's just good old fashioned Midwestern sensibility, right? Better standard of living, better bang for your buck here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of crazy just how few top 5 teams Nebraska's played in the Big Ten era. I mean, we talk about them playing Ohio State basically every year. Oklahoma, when Nebraska went down there, was a top 5 team, but really it's been mostly top 10, top 15 teams that Nebraska's played. Your Wisconsins, your Iowas, for the most part have been, back half of the top 25. But Nebraska hasn't really played that many true top 5 teams in the Big Ten era.
I was here listening to you talk to Strick about that this week. When was the last top 5 victory for Nebraska? Was it not that Michigan State game in 2016?
They were number 6.
They were number 6. Okay.
Yes.
So I had to leave my car of all things. So it's funny you bring that up. I never got the answer to that.
Do you have a guess if it's not that Michigan State game?
Oh boy. I mean, you're probably going back to the Frank Solage era?
You are. Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Oklahoma 2001.
That's the one.
Oh my! Wow.
Dunce to Crouch.
Yes.
Number 2 versus number 3 game. I think it was. That's the last time Nebraska beat a top 5 opponent.
Black 41 flash reverse.
That's the one.
That's right.
You know it.
All right. Well, that's hopefully that streak comes to an end. A lot of streaks that Nebraska's looking to. I don't even know what the number is up to. 22, 23 straight games against top 25 opponents that have lost.
Something like that.
Somewhere
too
around
many
there. I mean, the numbers are just too high to carry, and that's why I think the ticket prices are probably a little bit low. Is partially just because not much belief that Nebraska can get it done this week. A lot of people have been kind of awestruck by that throughout the week. Does that kind of surprise you, or is it just kind of where Nebraska fans are? It is sad. I mean, because anything can happen any given Saturday. College football is so special for the upsets, but it's like Nebraska feels like, yeah, that's for other people. Here in Nebraska, we just pain and suffering.
That's pretty much it. If the way to pull off an upset comes down to we're due, it's our turn.
Yeah.
It tells you everything you need to know about the team. It's not, we have this matchup we can go to time and time again. We have this special player that's going to carry us through. If it's just, it's about our turn. It tells you everything you need to know about the team and the confidence of the fans in that team. Again, I think there are things that Nebraska can do better than other teams have against Michigan. And, Rico and I were just talking too, maybe not a vintage Michigan team, not as good as we thought they were going to be coming into the year, but they're still better than Nebraska.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line at the end of the day.
Well, and it's hard to tell where Nebraska's at considering where Colorado's fallen these last 2 weeks to Oregon and now getting beat up by USC. And Nebraska wasn't too far away from that game. I would describe that as a game where the scoreboard probably looked further away than the game did. Then Nebraska let it get away.
Yeah.
One way or the other, Nebraska wasn't going to score very many points that day against a not a very good Colorado defense. So, that problem kind of can flips over. But obviously, the turnovers in that game really bugged Nebraska, really brought them down. By the way, this segment here on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show brought to you by Fleet Feet. You're on your feet a ton in the fall. Make sure you're in a comfortable pair of shoes to avoid unnecessary discomfort. Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers. So, I mean, I when I look at this game, and you kind of mentioned the Ohio States in the past, this is the measuring stick game for Nebraska. Which unfortunately sometimes means how much do you lose by rather than are you going to win or not. And I think a lot of people are focusing on it that way. In any case, though, I guess my argument always for these type of games is that this is the one out of all the year. I know you hate Oklahoma. I know you hate Colorado when you play, Oklahoma when you play them, Colorado, Iowa. But to me, I always say you've got to get the one that's going to grab the nation's attention. You want something that boosts the program, not just the season. You want something that the nation's eyes are upon, not just beating Wisconsin and the Midwest kind of cares. If Nebraska beats Michigan today, this is a huge jumpstart to Matt Rule's program. And so that's where I kind of view it. Do you view it as similar, or are you among those that have Big Ten West hopes and say, well, I'd rather beat Purdue or Minnesota? Obviously, Minnesota's past Purdue or Illinois.
Yeah.
Or those type of games.
I don't think you're wrong. I just think you're jumping the gun a little bit. I think you're absolutely right in that a win like this would put Nebraska's name on the map. It would have national attention, national repercussions throughout the end of the year. I mean, this would follow Michigan as long as they're in the college football playoff conversation. I think, though, it would be a definite boost to the team this season. It would, I think, reframe how you think about any of the other games coming up. If you can beat Michigan, you can beat anybody else on the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
That's just true. But I don't think we'll be able to say this is a defining game or a turning point for the program until we're years down the road. Because what if Nebraska beats Michigan, but then loses to Illinois, comes out flat against the bye week or after the bye week against Northwestern, is in a dogfight with Purdue, and then goes to Michigan State and loses? Clearly it didn't spark anything. But if Nebraska is to beat Michigan, finds a way to dig deep and beat Illinois, or stays competitive even after what a big win it would be, you beat Northwestern, you find a way to beat Purdue, you go to the road, you beat Michigan State, and you take your chances from there. Okay, you're building something. And then you have a successful year next year. And then a year after that. That's where I think years down the line, if Nebraska is to pull it off, players in the program will point back to, hey, we beat Michigan on this day in this stadium under these circumstances. That's when the tone of the locker room flipped. I just don't think you can make that determination tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that, because there's a lot of season left, and like you said, you'd almost be expecting to win the remaining games, and that just probably likely wouldn't happen. So at some point you'd have to kind of come back off of that high horse. But the other thing that I think has been an interesting tone for the week, I suppose, is Matt Rule basically saying hats off to Michigan. This is the way he wants to build his program. And this is why I've been so excited about the Matt Rule era. This is why I've kind of cheered Michigan on the last couple of years, is because they've returned to a power football frame that Wisconsin used for years to help compete, win Big Ten titles, go to the Rose Bowl, win some of those, never quite get over the hump. So now they're trying the air raid. But Michigan has done the similar thing. Is there a ceiling to this? Is their type of football play the reason why they're running into problems in the playoffs? Or do you think a power football heavy team could win altogether?
I think they can. I think they absolutely can. I mean, Michigan was a game away from doing that last year. I don't think the issue was the power run game against TCU. It was the turnovers, right? Michigan stuck to that identity, and it was going to be a shootout with a team like TCU. Michigan showed it had the guys to hang. I mean, it rolled up 40 plus on Ohio State. So clearly the way Michigan does things puts points on the board, but then it comes down to quarterback, right? That's the big differentiator. And if you look at all the teams who have won the college football playoff, they've had either Stetson Bennett, who is better, I think we still want to give him credit for, or a superstar at quarterback. Plain and simple, dating back to really everyone except 2014 Ohio State, right? And that was a kind of a fluky run where they leaned on Zeke Elliott.
Even depth of quarterback,
they do.
Anybody.
They do.
Yeah.
So to me, I think the limiting factor in that power type of game is what kind of quarterback can you get to play? Because you're going to need your quarterback to be the dude. Show why you brought him to campus at some point in a run like that. Right now, JJ McCarthy's not living up to that. Not saying he never will, not saying he can't, but he hasn't. He didn't last year. Kind of fell apart when his team needed him to bring it all together. Wisconsin, we know about their quarterback issues. Their best season was with Russell Wilson. The best quarterback they've had in a long time. So if you're going to play that style, you need, even Iowa, when they went undefeated, like you could just kind of tell they weren't playing anybody. The quarterback wasn't asked to do too much. And then they get down early to Stanford and they can't dig themselves out of the hole. That's where you need not even like a Heisman caliber quarterback, not even a Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penix, anyone like that, but just a guy who is obviously really good, highly thought of. I still think the quarterback position comes down to arm and mind before anything else athletically. Have a dude that can make all the throws and do it when he's asked to do it. Like, there's no reason Drew Aller can't be a college football playoff quarterback, right? I think Penn State has kind of that same identity with the two stud running backs. They've been better out wide than Michigan has, not quite as good as Ohio State. But why can't a guy like Drew Aller do that for Penn State?
that'll be interesting to follow along. Penn State in a little bit of a dogfight with Northwestern early on, ended up pacing themselves. I haven't seen the score lately.
27-10 last I checked.
Yeah, it's started to gain some space there. I was thinking for a second, man, maybe we got to watch out for Northwestern down the line. Of course, Nebraska.
Hey, Northwestern beat Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska's
that.
not in any sort of position to overlook anybody. And today, of course, their biggest trial of the year. We'll see if they can get it done. We will have post game for you, Jay Foreman post game show immediately after, and then Austin and I will take you into the evening hours as we continue to talk about this game. Hopefully, a big celebration and a win. You are listening to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Got about 20 minutes till kickoff. We got to take one last break. Once again, this session was brought to you by Fleet Feet. You're on your feet a ton in the fall. Make sure you're comfortable. You have a comfortable pair of shoes to avoid any unnecessary discomfort. Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th in Pioneers. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here with more pregame show on 93.7 The Ticket.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You play Lucky for life, don't you?
Yeah, love it. Chance to win $1,000 a day for the rest of my life.
How does it work?
Choose 6 numbers and buy a ticket.
Then what?
Check your numbers after the nightly drawing to see if you've won.
Whoa, slow down. You lost me there.
Choose 6 numbers.
6 numbers. Got it.
Check the drawing.
Whoa, how do you remember all that?
Just lucky, I guess.
Lucky for life, top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
Hot tub season is here, and to celebrate, Bonzal Pool and Spa is having a sale so good that they're offering it up for the whole month. Soak up the savings when you purchase a new High Life Collection or Limelight Collection spa and receive a free step and cover lifter from now through the end of September. Stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new spa today and soak up the savings at Bonzal Pool and Spa, 33rd and Highway 2, or at bonzalpool.com. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, sponsored by Yours Cheese Spread.
Back with you for one final segment on the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show with number 2 Michigan coming into town. They are warming up on the field, or at least I assume they are. I don't have vision of that, but I assume they are because we're only 12 minutes away now from TV time. I believe kickoff will be somewhere around 2:40. If you're one of those back home watching TV worried about the USC Colorado game ending late, which I'm not sure where they are in that game, but rest assured, I know I saw on Twitter somebody said, well, if that game does go late, they're still going to start Nebraska and Michigan on time on Fox. And I said, I don't believe you, because Nebraska seems to always be cursed, particularly in basketball, but in other sports as well, with late games in front of them. And so you don't get to see the beginning of some of your games. But I that might, honestly, it was always my grandma's favorite part, was the tunnel walk and the airplanes. And that might be the best part today. Though I do believe Nebraska and Michigan has let their opponents kind of hang around. We've talked about their style. I think Nebraska can hang around in this game. It's just you start to worry once you get into the mid-third, fourth quarter. But also keep in mind that Nebraska, last time Michigan came to this field, didn't score in the first half in that either, and was able to push that game toward the end.
They were. So I did just get done saying Michigan hasn't looked as good as I thought they were going to this year. But I saw a stat that was saying that Michigan has played like 56% of its snaps this season with a 2-score or more lead. So they've been in control. That tells me that Nebraska has to get off to a quick-ish start, because if you get down by 2 scores, that's where Michigan will Big Ten West you.
Yeah.
Right. And they're even better at Big Ten Westing you than the Big Ten West has been. So I don't think if Nebraska gets down, 13-0 at half, whatever it was in the game, last time it was here in 2021, that worries me. I think Nebraska needs to have success early, because Bach, this leaning on teams, has resulted in a couple wins, but I don't know how much confidence has been built in that locker room. It's one thing to say, oh yeah, we'll lean on him and we'll make it work at the end against Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech. To me, this team needs that proof of concept, that validation early on, right? Get something good going. And I want to see Nebraska score on its second drive, not just its first, right?
Yeah.
We know scripted drive, scripted plays, yada, yada, whatever. But then it falls apart for a while after that. Show some consistency, right? Back it up. Prove that the score wasn't a fluke, that it wasn't just scripted and you're good to go there. Make something happen. Put some game pressure on Michigan. See how they handle it.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, especially an early lead. That'd be kind of odd, but we definitely take it as a Nebraska fan. And of course, the big question all week, and the final segment before the game, we might as well bring it up. quarterback. How do we expect the quarterbacks to look today? I think given the hints that we've had early on about Jeff Sims not being 100%, but he's not being held out of this game. We know Luke Reimer and Cam Linhart are for the black shirt defense, if that's something you kind of look forward this afternoon. But I guess I expect Harburg to start, but I think you've got to have packages for Sims, and you've got to have them ready. I know a lot of people don't like such a quarterback run dependent offense, but I don't think that they have any choice, especially if they're going to get a win today.
Well, they always have a choice. It might not look pretty. I mean,
it already doesn't.
Maybe they could feel like their hand was, forced to do the quarterback run, but this is the boat Nebraska's in.
Yeah.
Harburg, I think it was Pete Thamel said that he got confirmation was starting.
Okay.
So there's that. And in that case, unless he's hurt, let him ride. Let it rip. Right? Jeff Sims didn't come out when he got benched for having, turnovers until he was taken out due to injury. To me, at this point, it's Harburg's job. Just let it rip. Even if I disagree with that, where I think a healthy Jeff Sims, again, we'll rehash this for the millionth and first time, I still think a healthy Jeff Sims has a higher ceiling. Maybe that's me trying to convince myself of it, but I've seen some better throws from Sims than I have from Harburg. So I would say Jeff Sims getting healthy is best for Nebraska, and once he's healthy, you ride it out with him. But Heinrich Harburg has done nothing to say the job shouldn't be his, right? He hasn't played well, hasn't played his best, neither has Jeff Sims. The problem isn't it's this guy or that guy. The problem is they're the only guys.
Yeah.
So to me, this is a problem years in the making, compounded by a decision made this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely. A few of them. I think Logan Smothers might be starting if he was sticking around campus too. So that's kind of interesting. I kind of agree with you. I think one way or the other, the honeymoon phase for Heinrich Harburg is either going to blow up and continue or more likely be over. And we're going to have to kind of come back to reality and see what Nebraska has against one of the best defenses in the nation. Again, we know they haven't played anybody, but I don't care if you play, rec league and only allow 5.8 points per game. That's a heck of a defensive start that Michigan's got going there. And so, I mean, I guess if you're kind of thinking for Nebraska to win today against that defense, what's a point? This isn't, Michigan can score. So this isn't like a first 1 to 20, but for a Nebraska victory, do you think they're going to have to get, is that around what you would think? It's 27, 24?
Yeah, 27, 28 probably sounds right. Nebraska could maybe get it done if the defense has all 30 guys that are play the best day of their life for 60 minutes. They could maybe get away with a 24, 23, 24, 21, something like that. But I still think you have to be up at 28 or 30 points, which again is a huge ask against Michigan, but I think that's what it would take for Nebraska to come out the W.
Yeah, and a lot of this too, as we know, this is a defensive-minded team, so it's going to be without, once again, Cam Linhart and Luke Reimer today, but they've substituted guys in and out for this very reason, to get guys ready to go when it gets tough and when you have to lose some of your best players, and those guys are good, but I still think, as good as this defense has started, I still feel like it's somewhat of a starless defense. We'll see those guys emerge, and maybe today will be a breakout game for one of those guys.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
Bring it on. I'm ready for it.
I am too. One way or the other, I absolutely love Michigan coming to Nebraska. It's a helmet game. It's one of my two of my favorite programs colliding. I'm not a huge Michigan fan. I just like the traditional teams. Remember, they're the all-time winningest team as far as wins in college football. Nebraska hoping to get one up on them today, and more importantly, knock them down from their perch. They're two-time defending Big Ten champs. Not a lot more can be said that hasn't been said, and so we'll go ahead and let them do the playing themselves. Remember, this wraps it up for our Fear's Cheese Spread segment. No tailgate is complete without Fear's Cheese Spread, based out of Sutton, Nebraska. Find yours today at most local grocery stores. Also, Jay Foreman postgame show will be after kickoff, immediately after kickoff, so we'll see you then. And remember, go Big Red.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking.